moth to a flame. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Poetry of Justice Show with Jackie Ray Phillips on YikesRadio.com and AccelerateRadio.net. Ladies and gentlemen, here on the Poetry of Justice Show, this is where social consciousness meets the arts. And so what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity, ranging from arts, entertainment, and social justice at large, leaving our listeners thinking and saying,
YikesRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are the very sultry sounds of my mentor, the Mr. Kevin Nash. And I always love to give Mr. Nash a very special shout out because he is the owner of this amazing establishment here at the Poetry of Justice Show here, ladies and gentlemen, Accelerated Radio and YikesRadio.com. So I always give him homage and respect because I respect him and what it is that he does and what he's done for people like me who loves radio. So thank you so much, Mr. Nash. Then I'd like to give a very special shout out to my gorgeous and amazing sister, Lori G, the benefactor. How are you tonight, gorgeous?
I am doing well, excited, ready for a good time.
Well, me too, gorgeous. I think it's going to be a good night. And ladies and gentlemen, guess who we have in the house tonight? We got the amazing Shelly C from the chat. How you doing tonight, gorgeous?
I'm doing excellent.
Shelly C, this is your show, so I want you to go ahead and pick up right now. Let people know why we're doing this tonight, beautiful.
Girl, we are doing martinis and murder.
Oh, my God.
Martini glasses.
Martinis and murder. Clink, 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 clink.
Because I was thinking about this in another life.
Okay.
Or let's just say we all have our careers right now, but our second careers, we would make a hell of an investigative team. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Me and Jackie would be the who, what, when, and where. Tanya would be the forensics of, okay, if they got hit by the jugular, they only had 2 minutes and 53 seconds to survive. And Lori would be the psychological aspect of it.
She's the Dexter.
She's the Dexter.
Not Dexter.
She would figure out and say why this person was psychotic or narcissistic or whatever the case may be. We would solve some hell of a crime.
Well, I think so, beautiful. It's going to be a great night tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about murder. And martinis tonight.
Yes.
I'm super duper excited. We just did a new thing. Look at every time I say martini, these ladies tend to just put up their water glasses there, guys. No, I mean,
Martinis. We've got lemon drops in the house. We've got
Lemon drop.
apple martinis in the house. We got lemonade for those who don't drink.
that's right.
And we got water.
We got put a little water in
it.
Those was our early partying days, guys. So we'll see. Ah, my God.
Yeah, it could be a little too sweet, a little too
Anyway,
much.
A little too much.
A little too
A
much.
little too liquory, too.
How are you doing tonight, Rashid?
Oh yeah, I'm doing just fine. Right now, I'm just trying to stay awake at the moment.
I know. I'm sorry.
But,
You had a
we're
long
here.
day.
We're here.
I appreciate you. I know. So, Shelly C, let's just dive into it, guys.
Let's dive into it. What's our first murder?
I know, right? I don't know. I know, but I'm gonna let you go, Shelly.
Okay, so first I just want to say a disclaimer. We're not here to make fun or to judge people. We're just giving the facts, and there's some of the things that we have come across and what we've realized when it comes to psychopaths and murder. So we thought this would be a good topic because, one, it makes good TV.
Yeah.
And you can never know too much murder, right? You can never know too much murder. So that's our disclaimer that we're not making fun of anything. We are just putting the information out there and giving good advice. Okay?
I'm super excited.
Okay.
Shelly, who you gonna start with?
Let's start with, do we want to start with Dahmer?
Oh, okay, yeah, huh? Let's just go straight in.
Let's just
boom.
dive in
Okay.
to the
wasn't sure where
to
you
the
gonna
flesh
go.
eater,
Okie dokie.
to the person that eat people.
Look at Rashid. Rashid's like, holy goodness gracious. Is you ready, Rashid? Yeah.
Yes. I have to say that
did you watch
the movie? Did you watch?
Did
the
you
movie?
watch anything on that, Rashid, Lori?
I did not watch
The movie is amazing. You guys will be mesmerized by the movie. The guy that played Dahmer, one of my favorite actors, his name is Evan Peters. Oh my gosh, he's on American Horror Story too, but he is, and when I say he played this dude to the T, he played him to the T, down to the voice, everything. You guys have got to watch it because it also spreads some light on the fact that, of course, we know law enforcement do not really take people of color seriously. They do not listen to people of color, or they just don't care. Or people that are of the LGBTQ group, they don't care about them. I mean, there's been quite a few TV shows surrounding that. People of color, people of different groups, they don't care.
Right.
You know, they're basically in this movie, the Dahmer movie, this lady, the neighbor, has been telling the police for a long time, something's not right, something doesn't smell right, I'm hearing saws, I'm hearing people screaming, can you please come? And the police would come, and literally there's a dead person in the next room and they don't even go. Or her daughters called the police because there is this naked kid sitting on the stoop with blood coming from his head, and Dahmer comes up and says, oh, that's my boyfriend. And the police say, oh, okay, well, we'll just... So basically, they took his word, because he's white.
Privilege, huh?
And left. And the kid ended up dying.
How many people in total did this guy? I don't know.
Oh, shoot. I know that they found, I believe it was 17.
Oh my gosh.
But you know he murdered people when he was in his grandma's house.
He was what?
This is before his apartment.
Oh, okay.
So he did when he lived with his grandma, and then for a minute in high school, he was living by himself.
He murdered people in high school?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he murdered
How
one
old
person.
was he when
he
he
was
started
17.
murdering?
When he first
17.
started.
Now he was murdering birds and stuff and doing the taxidermy and all that, little dogs and stuff like that. He was murdering them way before he got into high school. There was something strange about that. Like his father went to the shed that he was working in the backyard. I said, you got to check your kids. But he went to the shed and he found him like dead animals. Just like, what are you doing? So that's another thing that they shed light on in the movie. It's like, you should have been getting this boy help a long time ago, and you never even thought to get him help. Like, you finding dead shit? Like, I don't understand. If I found a dead cat or mouse, all y'all would know about it.
Right.
And I would be getting some help for my child.
Yeah. But I understand his mom had some severe mental health issues.
She took
Right.
psychiatric medication. I can't remember the number. I think it was like 12. She was on like 12 different medications at once, pregnant with Jeffrey.
While she was pregnant?
While she was pregnant. I mean, like all day long, it was like all she was doing is taking mental health pills. You know, for different conditions.
What doctor authorized that?
I don't know.
And the husband, Jeffrey's father, knew. And I'm like, well, where's the intervention? You knew about the drugs she was taking. You knew about him and his sickness with killing animals. When was you gonna do something? Like,
but what do you do with that? I think about the movie The Good Son. Remember that one with Macaulay Culkin?
What do you do with that, Lori? Psychologically speaking.
Yeah, let's take it there. I'm like, what do you do with that?
Lori is devastated.
I know. Remember we talked about that about a month ago. We said, like, do you cover for them?
Oh, in terms
I'm just saying it that.
parent, yeah. No, I think what you do is you intervene, definitely, right?
I agree.
So there needs to be some physiological testing. If his mother ingested all of these mental health meds while she was pregnant with him, right? There could have been some gestational issues or that damaged him, right? From the side effects of these medications.
Just alone.
Yeah, and then there also needs to be some counseling and some inquiry as to what's the fascination with death and killing things, and if it is gratifying for that person.
You want to hear something even more interesting? His father said, I had the same thoughts as Jeffrey, but I just never acted on them.
Okay.
I shouldn't have never told him that I had these feelings. What parent tell the kid that?
Well, that's that movie, The Bad Seed, right? That brings up the question.
Yeah, sometimes you just...
Is it...
nature, nurture, right?
Yeah. Is it genetically predisposition? Right?
Yeah.
If his father had those types of thoughts.
Yeah. Like the young, was it Bessie Dinker? That was... And she was just so much like her
Yeah,
grandma.
because she had a completely the movie The Bad Seed. The daughter was adopted by a beautiful, loving family, but she just had a genetic predisposition for murdering.
Okay, see, I would want to help people, but that right there would just kill it all. That would, because that would be my next question. You know, you want to help people and you want to take in kids, but then I need to know your background because
Girl, I'm not messing around. I'm
I'm
not
not
taking nobody
trying-
kids. I'm sorry. Foster care is not the spot no more. Girl, I already
they
know enough.
adopted
I know
the
about
little
foster
baby
care
as an
people, so I am cool. Huh?
I said they adopted her as an infant, right?
right.
Who, Rhoda?
Uh-huh,
No,
Rhoda.
Rhoda was a genetic to her parents. What was adopted was her mother.
Oh, her mother.
Her mother was
right.
adopted.
Her mother
because
was adopted.
the grandmother,
That's
the
right.
mother's mother was Bessie Dinker,
Was Bessie
who
Dinker.
was this
Was the
classy
grandmother.
killer. So it skipped the generation, and so
Skipped
like
her
her
mother
mom,
and went to
and
the
then
daughter.
it went to Rhoda.
And it happens. Yeah.
Rhoda was a cold piece. She was like, I'm getting everything. I'm getting my jewelry. I'm getting a hat.
medals.
She wanted it all. She said he wouldn't let go.
So she kept hitting him.
So I had to keep hitting him, mother. Like I
hit
had
him
to.
in the head.
I had
It
to
killed
keep
him.
hitting him because he would not let go of her metal.
And then she burned up the guy who
She burnt that food straight up, fool.
he was the
Shirley.
the handyman of the apartment.
She, you just lie all the time, all the
She
time.
set him on fire.
She said his with that Excelsior. I don't blame her. He was talking too much, but see, he was jiving with her, but he knew he said too much.
He
She was
said
too
too
slick.
much.
He got too slick.
And
He
she-
got too slick. He talking about he like made her
I
think
know
that he
what
whipped
you
her to
did
them
with
shoes.
the medals. I know what you did with
Them
them
shoes.
shoes.
See.
And she was like, "Give them back to me." And then he was like, "I ain't even got your shoes," but she thought you got my shoes, so now you gotta go.
You got to go.
I mean, I'm just saying.
And she wanted to kill that lady upstairs with the bird.
I think she did kill that lady in part 2. If there was a part 2, oh girl, gone. I'm telling you right now, Monica is a rizap.
That's her name,
I don't know
Monica.
about this one.
You have to watch it. It's called The Bad Seed.
How old is Rhoda? Like
It's on what?
8?
She's like
In the
8
movie?
or 10 years old.
Okay, at our next tea party, we will definitely do a movie watching, a screening of
The Bad
Seed.
Seed.
The bad seed. I'm gonna look for
Yes,
her.
yes, Patty McCormick.
It was, I think it's like from 1950-ish.
Oh wow.
Right.
It's a great film. Brings up lots of questions, which relate to Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right. Like I think it was something in his brain. Definitely. You know that he.
And was he targeting black people?
Yes, he was targeting black men.
And did ever
Although he
discovery ever
says,
come out why?
although
us?
he says he didn't. Is that no love? Although he says that he didn't target them, he moved specifically into a black neighborhood. He moved into a black building. He was the only white man in there.
He should have known right then. Whoop.
No,
I was looking at something the other day.
Oh,
I was
white
looking
man
at,
come
and they
over
was
here.
like, if somebody come around, it's the only white person. You already know
No,
it's some sort
I
of
said
setup.
that about the
But that was you-
HBCU.
That's what you said. I mean, it was somebody the
In
other
South
day.
Carolina,
Yes.
there's a HBCU, and
what you
you walk up
said.
in here and you white.
We already
like,
know.
We already know. So
Something
I
ain't
mean,
right.
and
They
then
caught him, Shelley.
just like that. And when they opened up his trunk, he had a machete and he had all types of artillery in his car. He was about to blow up some shit.
Set it off.
Set it off. But that's why I'm like, oh, no. If you got on a trench coat and you white, something ain't right.
It ain't right.
It ain't right, especially if you in a black or HBC or black neighborhood. Even now, like I said, I told you, I went to the concert.
You did tell us what happened. Oh, that's right.
Who comes to see Guy,
with the
Keith
trench
Sweat, New Edition,
Where the trench coat?
with blonde hair, blue eyes? He didn't have one trench coat. He had on a sweatshirt. But I'm looking at Jazz like he on this side with his mama or whoever she was, auntie, whoever. I'm looking at Jazz and I'm like, we had a black concert and I see all black people but them.
I'm like, what is going on?
And
Well,
Jazz was like,
now-
Mom, calm down. I'm like, nah.
Well, they are supported by, more than just
Yeah.
white people.
Yeah.
It's
Now, if he
crazy.
had on a trench coat, that would be
Yeah.
questionable.
I'd have been like, nah. I'd have been running.
Because I was looking. I think I was like,
That's very.
and
very
I'm the
interesting.
same way in the grocery store. If you something ain't right, if you look, nah. You look like you rolled up out of bed, and you white. Some ain't right. Some
What do you
ain't
think
right.
about that, Rashid?
Is that
Is that like a predis? What are you thinking?
I mean, some of that can be a precognition when it comes to stereotypes of like, oh, I see a white man in a trench coat. Somebody finna die.
Right. Yeah. I mean, is that wrong to go there?
I mean, yes and no.
Okay.
You know, maybe in another state, but in California, like today.
Like today, that's what I'm
somebody
saying.
walk into with a trench coat, you be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to my car.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. In fact, on a day like this.
I'm going to my car.
But then again,
Fuck
I
this,
did
fuck the
see.
eggs, all that. I'm just leaving my cart. I'm just leaving my cart.
But then again, I did see my boss in a literal a sweatshirt, hoodie, and everything, representing Compton College. But it's just like
But
it
he
is.
didn't have on a trench coat.
No. He had on a actual sweatshirt that said Compton College on it. It's
Which
just,
was appropriate.
right. It's just 84 degrees outside.
Right. See what I'm saying? In California, you can do that. So you can spot them out. Because it's
But
like,
see, they're at Compton College, so that makes sense.
okay.
Right.
But a
like,
trench coat and it's 92 outside.
Even if you
I
got a
don't know.
sweatshirt on it, I'm going to be looking.
You questionable?
Nah, but it's like even with a sweatshirt, because sometimes I go outside and wear a sweatshirt just to go to the supermarket, just to pick up some stuff. Go to Walmart, pick up some stuff. And it's just like,
But do you put it on like and go in like this? You know what I'm saying? Or do
no,
you
it's like
kinda
I
flow?
just go in there, have my hoodie on, have my headphones on, mind my own business. But it's just like I can see where that can be misdiagnosed as someone that has nefarious intent, but that also could be just be the color of my skin playing a factor in.
Or
into
my
that.
paranoia, but I'll trust my paranoia because nowadays you can't be too careful. I'm just saying, and you know, I used to just go to the grocery store and not really pay attention. I pay attention to people when I go
Yeah.
places.
Okay.
I really do pay attention to people.
You be checking 'em
Before,
out.
I'm going in to get my groceries. I'm coming out. I'm not now. I be looking. Okay, this over here. He over here squeezing melons, but he got on a trench coat. No.
Not him squeezing melons.
Squeezing melons in a
I
trench coat.
mean, it's because it's like in like the lady shootings, which I think we're at about like
not on there?
163 something shootings.
I know
like,
we're over 100.
just this year.
A little more.
Yeah, in fact, we're at
There
163.
you go.
But like, I'll get the updated numbers real quick.
Updated numbers for.
But I'm just saying, there's
mass
this-
shootings, but it's like a
there's-
lot of them.
Mass shootings. There was just one last week. wasn't
Right.
it? That's so sad. Those are horrible.
When we just can't get so wrapped up, and I know that's what I said. I can't get so wrapped up that I'm not paying attention to my surroundings. You know,
Yeah. I know what
even
you're
just getting into the, they look for women who are on their phones.
saying. Definitely do that, Lord. That's why I'd be like, bye, Lord. Get off the phone. Don't talk to me.
Right? They look for women who are on their phones and not paying attention. There's a lady that has been poisoned they put some type of poison on a napkin and it was in her car handle and she didn't even touch the napkin. She did like this. And the next thing she knew, she was telling her husband she couldn't breathe.
Girl, what?
Yes.
Wow.
And they took her to the hospital and they said, you've been poisoned.
Girl, no. See, that's why I be messing around. Y'all see?
Don't smell it. And if somebody give you a roll, don't smell it. Don't smell it.
Shelly, now you freaking me out. I
I'm just
swear.
telling you, y'all be careful because
But careful right now.
they look for those types of people that are not paying attention, that are
They
on their
do.
phone. And my daughter gets me for that too sometimes because I take for granted that sometimes we're together. So I really don't have anything to worry. But she's like, you messing around. Get in 10 and 2. Get in the car. You got 2 minutes to get in the car, 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes to get in the car, get your groceries and stuff, and then we out.
Yeah.
You know, she has numbers like we got to keep moving. We don't hang around the parking lot. Keep moving. And I'm talking on the phone, putting little bags in. She's like,
Gotta be about your business.
Wow.
Right. She's like, no.
You're not having it.
And one time we went to Amazon Fresh and these girls had stolen some stuff and they were the security guard caught him, and she's just screaming and cussing or whatever. And there's like 5 of them, and they throwing. She's like, I'm leaving, and she's throwing all the stuff out of her bag because they caught her. So she's just throwing the stuff out of her bag and trying to leave because he's like, no, you got caught with that stuff, and she's like, no, I'm leaving. And so we walking out, and Jasmine was like, why you looking? We need to get in the car. We don't know what kind of women that is.
You know you.
Girl, I was looking.
I know you were. Because you're so nosy.
What's all the commotion? She was like,
No.
we don't need to watch
I'm like
this.
Jasmine. I don't need to see the commotion.
I'll be like, I'm keeping it moving.
I'm keeping it moving.
Oh, gotta keep it moving.
I'll read about it or hear it on the news.
She said, count them. It's 5 of them and 2 of us. Let's get in the car.
You know, Jazz, she's not messing around. Wow.
But back to murder, Jeffrey Dahmer. You guys have got to see the movie Dahmer. I think it's on Netflix. Make sure you watch it because it's really, really
I heard
good.
it was really kind of scary, though.
It's scary, but it's really, really good. It really gives you an in-depth, and it, like I said, it touches on different subjects.
So you need to watch it in the daytime.
Yeah, how black people are treated when they call the police. How white people get that privilege, get that, oh, I believe you type attitude. How Jasmine calls it a spidey sense. How we have that spidey sense that something ain't right. Mm-hmm. And even though I'm calling you and I can't put my finger on it, something not right. You need to check this out.
Right.
So it touches on how we have a spidey sense and they don't. You know what I'm saying? It touches on how gay people are treated, and gay people that are being murdered doesn't matter. How black men being murdered doesn't matter.
Right.
Or people of color being murdered, because I think it was like maybe 2 Asian men that he.
So were they all men, the victims?
Oh yeah, they were all men.
All men.
Were
Were there any white men?
One, and that was the one I was telling you. Well, that was the one when he was 17. He got a hitchhiker, and he took him to his house, and they were partying and drinking beer and stuff, and then he killed him with a weights. And
This dude here for no reason, just boom.
he's off the charts.
How did he start eating them?
Now, how he started, I don't know. It just one day he did, because he has
Hannibal Lecter.
he
I
has
know.
problems with abandonment. So them leaving him, he had problems with.
them.
But if he eats them, or if he puts part of them in the freezer, or if he saves a part of them, they can never leave him.
What?
That's
Isn't
That was
freaky,
his
Jason?
rationale.
right. That was
He
his
wanted to keep a part of each
right, and the reason
victim.
he would drill holes in their head
What?
and put acid in it is
You hear this,
because
Rasheed?
he wanted them to be zombies. He didn't want them to be completely dead, but he wanted to have control, and he didn't want them to run away. So he would put the battery or the acid in their head so that they were zombie-like and wouldn't move. But the experiment never worked. They would end up dying.
That will kill you.
Right.
Where's it one?
But he was just thinking, if I put just enough, that'll keep them in the zombie state.
Where do you even get this stuff from? I'm just saying, you know.
Taxidermy. Because his father would do taxidermy with him.
Got it.
Dead animals and shit.
Yes.
So, because he knew how to do taxidermy, he figured he could do it with the human and have them halfway zombied so that he could do. Like, he didn't want them to touch him, but he wanted them to just lay there and be still, but still be alive. That's his.
Well, let's just talk about the guy who took him out. You know what I mean? It was a brother. Brother was like, you know what?
How
We're going to
did
put an
he-
end to this bulljack.
Right. how
Came
did that
over there across
happen?
the yard and just got him good.
Got him good.
That's cold-blooded, huh?
Okay, I don't understand the got it good. I didn't see the movie. What happened?
No, I'm just talking about
A
how
black guy killed him.
in prison, you know that.
Oh, in prison is where he was killed.
Was Dahmer was murdered, yeah, killed.
Oh, I didn't know.
He
that.
found out about how many of the guys he killed, and they were black. And he just was like,
I got life
I
anyway.
got life anyway. Fuck it. I'm just going to kill him.
Because he on it, yeah. I mean, so what do you do with, is vigilante justice? Poetry of justice show people? What do you think about that, Rashid? With all due respect. I mean, let's just real deal Holyfield. What do we do with the brother that took down, let's pull him up, the brother that took down Dahmer?
He low-key looked like Julio to me.
Did you say?
Poor Coolio.
Yeah.
He gone too, or is he sick or something?
He's on-
Died from
Yeah.
fentanyl.
For fentanyl?
Yeah.
Fentanyl poison.
Somebody like poisoned him? Like,
And I
was it
think he
purpose?
was using it.
Okay.
He had
Scarver.
What's his
Christopher.
name?
Christopher Scarver, the man who killed Jeffrey Dahmer.
wow,
Let me pull
okay.
up a picture for you
It's
so
murder
that you
and
can actually
martinis.
get a better glimpse of who he was.
Oh, all right.
His hair was
He was
grown
a
out
young man.
when they showed him. Yeah, his hair was grown out when they showed him. So he
Who?
remind, oh,
Hey,
see
what's
how at
this,
the bottom?
Christopher?
See there at the bottom where his hair is grown?
Okay.
Yeah. He.
So Christopher just said, "I'm going for mine."
Right.
Yeah,
They were in a room together by themselves, and he picked up a weight and was like,
The time has come.
and they said that Jeffrey didn't even fight because Jeffrey was like,
He was burnt out.
he was like, I'm okay if I need to be out of this hell, because, and he said it, if you let me go, I'm gonna do it again. I'm just gonna keep doing it.
He was like,
So-
"All
Like
right,
the
bet."
Green River Killer.
So he was saying that, you can give me the death penalty, but they didn't give it to him. And so he wanted to be put out of his misery. So when this guy was trying to kill him, he didn't fight. Did
Did he like strangle him? What are they like?
No, he took a
blunt
weight.
force
No, in fact,
trauma.
it looked like a blunt force trauma with I believe, a 10 to 15 or maybe 20-pound weight to his
He gashed-
noggin.
He gashed. He
He
had a
probably
big
doesn't
gash
have
in his
much
head.
left of a head. I'd love to see those autopsy photos.
Yeah, his father said that it was the hardest thing for him to see was to go into the jail and see his son like that.
Just brains everywhere.
Which brings me to Murdoch.
Ooh, so violent.
Talking about brains everywhere. I'm thinking about Paul and Maggie.
Papa and Maggie.
Yeah, Paul and Maggie. For those that do not remember, we discussed about this specific case maybe about a couple weeks ago, where we're talking about the Murdoch family, where the husband ended up killing the wife and his son because he was caught with infidelity, and also when it came to the family business of just doing dirt.
Well, they haven't found any women that he was messing with.
any
There was no infidelity. No.
No.
It was that he embezzled so much money from the firm that he worked for.
Oh, and I might be thinking of the other Murdoch.
Yeah.
Murdoch. Yeah.
Yeah, he had stolen money from all of his clients
For 30 years.
Like saying, Rashid, you've been awarded 50,000, but you was really awarded 100,000, and I take the other 50. Things like
Or
that.
he just took the whole
Thing.
kitty. He got to the point where he didn't even give people their dough.
Right.
He's suing the freaking insurance companies. Huh, Shelley, getting like millions of dollars settlements and not giving
Didn't
nothing.
anything.
How
Yep.
can you do that? You told him what you lost, or
You just don't tell him shit. He just
No.
wasn't telling them nothing. He just
No,
not
back
answering their
in the
calls.
moment,
Just act
you
like
literally
nothing.
say, "Hey yo, back in
Is that called bloody?
this case is still ongoing. Back when I will update you later on when I got
These
things figured
take
out."
some time. So then he would just prolong it and just be like, okay, hopefully they'll forget about it, because
Yeah.
the housekeepers, 2 boys, were supposed to get $1 million.
Got nothing.
Got nothing.
To this day, they've gotten nothing. And they was suspicion is that. you
Well,
know,
mostly
she was murdered on that property. Well, she died on their property.
the housekeeper?
Yeah.
Did they kill her?
Yeah.
Yeah, we think so. We think
Yes,
Maggie did it.
she was
actually,
murdered
low-key.
on.
Maggie and
killed her?
Pawpaw on the low.
Oh, they were just really a bad.
But then they
family.
said that it was the dogs. She tripped over the dogs and fell down the step.
And then Mr. Murdoch says to the kids, you sue me
I don't think I.
so I can get you $1 million, so you can sue me, and I'll get you the $1 million. Now, you already know that would have been suspicious. Sue you.
Right.
Right.
I don't need you to help me sue you.
Right.
Yeah,
Plus,
'cause
what?
that
That
Also,
don't even sound right.
Exactly.
right. But then he also, I believe this was the same case in which he had transferred funds to a offshore account, to where it's like that money was already put away, and it's just like.
I still think there's some money out there, though. I know his brother, John Marvin, has kind of taken an active role in, taking over some of the estate and some of the property issues and so forth. There's still a big shadow over Buster, but I think...
Right, especially
I wonder,
for
where did
his
all
teenage
the
antics.
money go?
Girl, he smoked
Because with
it.
his
No,
business
it's in an
partners and
offshore
stuff.
account. He didn't.
so
I don't think
much
he
money.
smoked up all that money.
Nah, fucking mama.
Look at
It's,
you.
it's literally in an offshore
I shouldn't say
account
smoke,
that
but
literally
He did
can't
that
be touched.
oxycodone. He was
I
doing
was on
oxys. He was on
oxy.
oxy.
Oh yeah, he was on drugs as well,
But I'm just
doing
like, geez,
heavy amount of
McGeesh.
drugs.
But he's been doing this for 30 years. But I guess all the properties and
Yeah, because the more you make, the more you spend, right?
the more he stole.
And then if you got a habit too, your money's gone. I mean, Whitney Houston. She had a lot of money, but she was broke after crack and wax.
Wow, that's a cold game. You know
Did
that?
she die broke?
Well, she didn't have as much money as she was supposed to have.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Right, most because like
She-
literally like all the
like, she
money
was
that
only,
she
like-
got from shows.
Like she was only like,
was
I
drugs.
think she only had like 3 million. The reason why Bobby Christina had money was because of life insurance. But when she was alive, she only had like, they would say like 3 million. Like where all that money went? Like where'd it go?
I would like. I don't even want to know. I can say
mean-
that.
Crack is
whack,
Like,
crack
who's-
is whack.
Who's the dope?
Man,
the
right
dealer?
now,
That's the-
Man, look what it's done
Follow
to
the
Bobby.
dope.
I mean, they said for days you wouldn't see Whitney and Bobby. For days, like weeks on weeks, like you wouldn't even see them.
It's duck.
I mean, we're glad to see Bobby still performing, but Bobby's a
King of
little.
R&B,
Was he jamming, Shelly?
he was jamming.
King of R&B, he still got it.
He
But-
still got. He don't move like he used to.
Don't tell me you doing the
He
leg
fat.
move. Don't tell me
But
the move.
girl,
He fat. He fat.
he did a little grind. He did a little
He
grind.
fat.
Rashid, yeah,
No,
Rashid.
no, he fat.
He fat. He not
fat.
chunky little.
Well,
nut.
come on. He's a little older.
He
than
couldn't
used to
keep
be.
up with. Okay, y'all seen the videos of him trying to
You better
dance to
leave
the
Bobby Brown alone.
routine.
That's King of R&B. That's my boo. You gotta leave him alone.
I thought that was R. Kelly.
He didn't come a long way.
I know.
He didn't come a long way.
He done come a long way.
Yes, right. Well, he has come a long way, but he needs to come a long way on that trip.
He has a heart problem.
That's that.
Oh, does he?
really?
Does he?
That's what I heard. I don't know if
Oh,
that's,
that's
true.
possible from the drugs. Because, you know, Whitney had heart disease. They said that's what they found in her autopsy. She had the beginning of stages of heart disease from, you know, crack. I mean, no, crack is whack. I mean, cocaine.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Cocaina.
Right?
So,
I was watching Scarface earlier this week.
Bring me the coke.
Your womb is
so
so polluted.
with the Murdoch murders, there's just a whole chain of events that just don't make sense, right, Jackie?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Lord?
I was mesmerized. I was
familiar.
caught up.
Okay.
every
I
day.
don't know how the boat relates.
The boat was
The boat
with the
accident.
sun. The
that
sun.
was-
You know she was a USC Trojan, by the way.
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
was
You
the
know
start, you know.
Yeah,
Little
so
Mallory.
so the boat incident was literally the grandfather. He had helped cover up the murder that happened on the boat with his 19-year-old son and this I forget her name that ended up being killed in the
Mallory.
accident. Yes, Valerie.
There was 3 girls and 3 boys.
Right, fact,
And
and he was the
Pawpaw-
one that was that was on the actual boat piloting the boat. Accident happened. She ended up dying. The grandfather covered it up.
Tried to
He
cover
tried
it
to,
up.
and the daddy.
He tried to cover it up in the sense of he basically posed as a quote unquote lawyer. Faggot mama to go into the hospital, but the kids that were there, they're like, keep that man away from me. He is Satan. He is the devil. Keep him away from me.
He
Yeah.
kept going into their room.
The
Yeah,
power of
being a
Christ come-
solicitor, lying.
Right. So basically, he was trying to say that Faggot mama.
Connor. They tried to blame it on Connor.
He did try to
Yeah.
blame it on Connor.
So basically, they were trying to pin the murder of Valerie
Connor Cook.
on Connor the entire time, and that's where the boat.
And telling them
incident-
all, don't talk. We got you. Don't talk.
Lying, talking about I
Yeah.
represent all of them. You don't represent them little kids?
The,
But the thing about
granddaddy
it-
did this or
Yes.
the daddy?
The grand
Both.
Both.
They were together.
Both. And then it was like everything started falling apart, like literally as soon as the grandfather had actually passed. Once the grandfather passed, like literally all of these chain of events just started just going
Happening.
into effect when it came to the murder, the double homicide. Then
Remember, he had tried to stage his own murder.
right,
And he had his
then
drug dealer
like
shoot
he
him in
tried
the head.
to say that
means
someone
he was in
had
a lot of
tried
trouble.
to shoot him. Someone tried to shoot him when it turns out that wasn't exactly the case. He tried to frame it in a way that like he was shot, But in reality, that's not what happened. He tried to shoot himself.
No, the drug dealer shot him.
Right.
But the problem was he didn't kill him because he wanted him to kill him so that his son would get the life insurance.
Right. But the thing is, he
was
survived.
in so much debt.
Did he really want them to kill him?
Yes, he did because he was in so much debt.
It wasn't an act.
No.
Like
The drug dealer said I was actually supposed to kill him, and I didn't. It didn't happen.
Like I missed by a couple centimeters of his brain / heart.
Yes, ma'am. I just got shot.
Yes, girl, he's so dramatic.
Yes, ma'am. Someone just shot at me. I was changing my tire, and someone just shot at me. And I think it grazed the side of my head. I can't see. Didn't he say that?
But then the next day, he just back up on it. What? Who you shot in the head? They had to airlift him. I never said anybody. That was a good trial. I don't know. I feel sorry for those people, though. Rest in peace to all those
I was listening to a
individuals.
podcast which was talking about the level of corruption in the law enforcement system in South Carolina.
And SLED?
Wow.
Is that what it's called?
They call it South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. Only because I just binged watched the trial. And he was talking so much trash about SLED. I don't know if you remember. He went, SLED did this and SLED didn't do that and SLED and SLED and SLED. And I was like, what the fuck is SLED? So then I had to look it up. Right.
Well,
but
SLED
are they
is
really that?
corrupt,
Well, he said
and
they were
it's-
corrupt.
He
It's
did.
run by
Because-
rich, white men.
That's why they
At least that's what this
said-
podcast was talking about.
That's why this guy on
Probably former classman.
on the crime show he
Crime.
said, so
Crime.
you have
Yeah, crime.
to
Could be.
murder a 19-year-old, you have to murder another 19-year-old, you have to murder your wife and murder your son, and you have to kill your housekeeper.
He did do that.
Before
And then
you
that
go to trial.
the little boy,
The little,
the
19-year-old,
little boy.
Steven,
Yeah,
they've
little
exhumed his body because they think they killed him too.
That's horrible.
It's just so much murder
Yeah.
around them people.
So why
And
do
if
you
you
think
do
this
not-
family engaged in so much murder?
Because they could get away with it. Just like the little girl, Mallory, that died, the 19-year-old. You see it on tape. Her boyfriend said, do you know who his father is?
Yes.
And the sheriff said, no. He said, it's Alec Murdaugh, the Murdochs. He
Yeah.
said, good
luck
fucking
with
luck.
luck, yeah.
Fucking luck, he
That's what he
said. Good
said.
fucking luck.
Yeah, he did.
Trying to get them on trial.
He was like, oh my God, I love it and I hate it all at the same time. That scene where, he can't find Mallory. And he
Yeah.
was like, you killed my fucking girlfriend, Bo. I mean, he's just, and your heart is just like, because
my
you see
God,
them
yeah.
walking, just walking back to the boat, his drunk ass, after he done just beat up his girlfriend.
Spit in her face.
He spit in her face, beat her up, treating her like trash, and she's walking all sad and shit. And then he's just drunk, staggering. This is how they're going back to get on the boat, dog. He's staggering, and then you've got this beautiful couple. You know what I mean? You've got Mallory and you got Ann. They're just holding hands and
they're in
looking at
love.
each other, and she's just smiling at him,
they're
and he's just
asking
doting
him.
on her.
Can we drive the boat?
And he's just
he was
showing
like,
his
it's
ass.
my fucking boat. No. It's my fucking boat. You
what he
can't
said.
drive it.
That's what he said. Doing donuts and stuff all in the water. And this is like 1:30 in the morning. Then he wanted to stop at another. Maybe it's Jelly. He had to stop at another.
They did stop
Mhm.
another bar,
At another
and you
bar.
can see him stumbling, drinking some more. And again, because he's a Murdoch,
Nobody said a word.
Why ain't nobody carding these kids?
White people antics. White
Why
people
aren't
shit.
you carding these kids? These are clearly
they're,
kids.
nobody's not even 18.
Okay.
But they're Murdochs, and in that
That's the
podcast
point.
I listened to,
Okay,
they
they're-
can do whatever
Whatever the fuck they want to do.
They're Murdochs, but then also, what ethnicity are they?
They're white, but this is the other thing. On top of being white, they're the Murdochs. The other thing is, when he went in, he never was handcuffed.
No.
They took just like they do little Donald Trump. They took his picture
Yeah.
in the hallway.
Yeah.
He was never
But with
cuffed.
his little
He
cute
was
little-
never
his little
put in an
preppy
orange
clothes
suit.
on.
He was never put in an orange suit. None of that.
Never, ever.
And
But
he
look,
killed this little girl.
money,
And he killed the
power,
little girl.
money and power.
Money and power.
They didn't
And
even tell her parents.
So
they didn't even tell Mallory Beach's mom and dad.
They didn't
Never,
call
law
them and tell them?
enforcement never. called them to say, hey, your daughter
Is dead.
is missing. We can't freaking find her. No one ever came to tell her that. It was actually because Anthony was just so distraught.
Yeah.
And then he called his
mother.
parents. Right. And then
He's like, Mom, we can't find Mallory. We
Right.
can't find Mallory. Like, I need you to come. I need you to come.
Could you imagine that?
No.
Law enforcement never come and tell you that your baby missing. Never. Because they're too busy worrying
Because
about
of
what the murder
power that they have in that state. They've had power for decades.
Decades. For hundreds of years. Generations. It was like 4 generations. I mean, I know I put it this way, like growing up when we were kids, you know, Lori, we would watch a lot of crime shows and mysteries and Columbo, and my mom loved murder mysteries. But it's like, this reminds me of those type of stories back then. Like, this is the current day, guys. This is like really...
It happens. It really happens.
It's
But
happening.
you know, it's different. I mean, I think, at least for me, I mean, I don't know, growing up in California and being raised on the West Coast and then traveling back to places like South Carolina or Missouri or that middle America, Texas, it's different.
It's very different.
Georgia, it's really
I
different.
really have to stay in Cali because
I would be over at CTRS, just over. I have to stay in Cali. I have to. I
told
have
my
to.
kids that. I told them I have to stay here. I have to.
Because I just know, like, with my day gig, well, you know, the HR and doing HR in different states and stuff like that. And when we do HR for like Texas and stuff, it's like they can do whatever the fuck they want. I'm like, what? And then, but California, and now I've noticed on LinkedIn, looking for gigs. Not that I'm looking for a gig, but looking for gigs.
No, you just looking. Yeah, you got to keep your.
They don't. A lot of people now don't even want to hire you if you're from California. Remote gigs.
Oh no.
They don't even want to hire you. New York, they're excluding. Now New York is kind of cracking that. They getting a little California-ish.
They getting California.
They getting California.
New York.
Yep.
And low key a little bit Chicago.
They don't.
Little
Yep.
bit
That's what I
Chicago.
was just gonna say. I saw this one job and it says excluding California, New York, Illinois. I was like, because they don't want to deal with it because
you
we
cannot
deal
pull
with
the
those
bullshit.
rules.
Right,
that
we
you
ain't
be
playing
pulling.
with it.
Yeah, you can't pull the bullshit. You can't ask me
all that
tell-
weird stuff.
Yeah, you can't tell me that I can't wear braids. You can't tell me
Or just
I can't
let
wear
you
blonde
fire
hair.
you and let you go, and I ain't got to pay you
Right.
for 2 weeks. I just
Right.
pay you at your next payday. What?
Right? Yeah, no.
I'd be like, what? That's cold-blooded.
That right there, I wouldn't even get along.
Yeah,
with.
just the fact that you could just...
Yeah, you could just.
And
What
I-
the fuck you
right.
gonna do with my money?
Right.
Yeah, no.
72 hours is long enough, I
Right.
feel, as a California girl. But we spoil here in Cali, girl.
Well,
and I gotta
72
stay right here.
only if you don't give me a 2-week notice.
Notice.
You give me less than 72, you get 72. Now, that's the part that I understand that part, but I be telling them, don't miss no day. Don't miss no day, because that's what happened with Jasmine's friend. I'm like, they still ain't paid you? She's like, no, I haven't got my last check. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I
Yep.
copied that article and gave it to her. I said, you take this in there and you tell
So
them
I
they
need
owe
my
you
money.
5 days
Right.
of pay.
Right.
Because they late.
Right.
You can't do that anywhere else.
Right. Right.
Yeah, anywhere else.
Ain't that cold? Yes,
Well, I
better
think
just stay right here.
California and New York, the inhabitants are very litigious.
I think, yeah,
They'll sue you for anything.
we will. But, hey.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, I can see why companies don't want to.
Don't want to
They
deal
want to
with
pack up.
us.
They
Deal
pack
with
up their
that.
shit and they go somewhere. That's why Elon
Because
Musk
even
packed
yeah,
his shit up.
they'll just say that,
And went
like,
to
you know.
Texas. Elon Musk. Because as crazy as his ass is.
There's something wrong with him. Do you
That-
guys
that's
Did you
why-
see his childhood photograph?
No.
You could
He's
tell
like
there
a
was something
serial
wrong with
killer.
I
him.
think his father married his babysitter, something like that.
Oh, I have no idea.
I just know he's rich as fuck. Heck, that's all I know.
Yeah,
Rashid, could you
but
please
that's
sign
why
it?
he packed
But
up
he's
his
also
shit.
crazy.
He is
and
crazy
cruel.
and cruel,
And cruel.
and that's
He's
why he
Trumpish.
packed up his shit and took it to Texas.
Thank you so much.
You know he packed up his shit from here. Oh, he took
Because in
his shit.
California, he don't want to be up here in California.
So we're no longer at their headquarters?
No, because of COVID. He wanted to make people work during COVID, and Newsom was like, "Oh no,
No, we don't do
You know,
that.
we
don't
don't
do
play
that.
that in Cali, thank you, baby.
we don't play COVID here.
Ah, you so ignorant.
We don't play COVID here."
I like, dang.
I didn't know he had moved to
He
Texas.
moved to Texas because in Texas you can do whatever the fuck you want.
He moved to Texas.
For real, though.
And
For real,
while
for
in the
real.
process of moving to Texas, he's ruining Twitter. Which Twitter is already accessible as it is right now. But now he's retroactively taking away your blue check mark. So
Yeah.
it's
That's what I heard.
Did you hear Jimmy Kimmel
What did it say?
They took
Cloud
away
go
his
what?
blue.
Did they really take away his
Yes.
Why?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Why?
That's the Twitter policy now. You now have to pay a fee.
You have to pay for the blue dot.
How much he charging you?
Hold on, let me see.
Let's see.
Jimmy Kimmel said, "Why do I have to pay for something that I used to get
That
for
just
free?"
for free. I mean, it just doesn't make sense because
I
he
love
can gouge
Jimmy
you. He
Kimmel.
can just gouge. See, that's how them ladies was with me at the nail shop, just trying to gouge me, dog. I'm like, y'all, what y'all think this shit is?
Don't say that because she took a chunk of my meat when she. Okay.
See,
But anyway,
girl, I don't even know.
I'll be ready to jump over the table.
Jacqueline and her nail team. They have.
She has a
issues.
good nail team.
No,
Now I'm on the hunt for a new one.
Really?
Yeah, she
They
trying
do
to
a
charge
really
me too much. She trying to get out with me.
Girl, they will try to.
I'm like,
charge
yeah,
you
they look cute, but
$300.
damn, they ain't that dang gone cute. Shit, I'm just saying.
she called her out on it.
I did. I told her straight right. I said, so you gouging me, right? So that would be doing that. Let's just put it on the table. And then when she wanted the tip, bitch, the tip is right there. Don't charge me. The tip is don't charge me that shit again. Don't charge me that high ass fucking price again. That's the tip.
That is the tip.
I
The
was
tip
looking at
of
her
the
like,
day.
are you out your motherfucking mind? Do you know how much you just charged me for this shit? Bitch, I ain't giving you shit.
Girl, she be happy when she see you coming.
I know she do, but she.
But they make up an arbitrary amount every time she.
Yeah,
comes.
it is my shit. No
Okay.
matter what I got
Well,
on.
see, and so okay, so this is what I would do. Before you touch a finger,
This is what I want.
this one, how much is gonna cost?
Right.
Okay.
I don't even
Don't
know if I
ask
wanna
me
go
no
back.
question. Don't ask me if I want an extra diamond. Don't ask me if I want an extra little flower. None of that.
Or 5 extra minutes on the massage.
Right. Nothing. Don't ask no questions. What is my amount before you touch my finger?
That's gonna need to be me, but I'm not even dealing with her
Okay.
no more. I'm going to a whole new joint. I'm not even. Because she done pissed me off now. Now I know you just trying to get me for my paper. You know, Biggie, damn. Niggas want to stick me for my paper.
Sticky for your
Damn.
paper.
Bitches
Right.
trying to stick me for my paper. Ain't giving that shit like no money.
Oh.
Okay,
hell
so just to give y'all just the idea of the Twitter fiasco that was going on, how much you have to pay for your blue check mark?
How much?
How much do you pay?
It ranges between $8 a month for individual web users to a starting price of $1,000 monthly
What?
to verify an organization,
A month. Okay.
plus $50 monthly for each affiliate or employee account.
Does Beyonce have a blue check? Are you trying to charge me?
Did you say $50,000 a month?
No, $50.
$50. Okay, I was like,
monthly.
You can take
For
that.
each-
What does the blue dot give you?
The blue check mark gives you status.
It just basically says, "Yay, you're verified.
Yeah.
You are you."
So you're important, like Jimmy Kimmel.
You could say it like that. You could say it in that aspect, or in the aspect of this is actually me, because there's too many on social media that like to quote unquote pretend to be you.
Oh, got it.
but the thing is, you're at a point in your career or your whatever, your art or your craft, that people would want to mimic you for you to need to be verified or no?
So it's like, it's for those like high profile where it's just like, yo, like when someone is going around stealing your flow word for word, bar for bar, just literally stealing who you are as far as
Twitter.
like
Okay, 'cause you-
on Twitter. So it's just like,
Whoa. Now, is a blue dot status on Twitter? Does it matter what
Okay,
platform
so
you're on?
He took over Twitter. He didn't take
Um,
over Instagram. Right. Okay.
I don't know.
no,
I think it's
I'm
just
not-
Twitter, right?
I'm not a Twitter person, so I don't know.
Instagram and Facebook is Mark Zuckerberg. That's Zuckerberg.
Okay.
Do you have
And-
to pay for the blue dots on Zuckerberg?
Let me
I don't think so.
let me check.
I don't think you do
Blue check
on
mark.
Instagram.
Let's see. Instagram.
We need to get rid of Elon Musk.
Mr. Musk.
Actually, yes, you do.
He goes to
Oh, you
space
do?
too.
Yes.
How much do you pay?
Let's see. There's a thing called Meta Verified. Starts off with a Meta Verified subscription. $15 a month on iOS and Android, or $12 on the web on Facebook only.
A month or
Yes, a month.
but no, I get it because you had impersonators, so you want to know if this the real Beyonce or the real Rihanna, whatever. Kind of get that, but
That's true.
paying for it,
I mean, I get that, but it's like for like people of their status, that's literally a drop in the bucket. For people like us, with that, That's like, okay, nah, hold on. That's adding up because we already got enough subscription services that are within our repertoire already. We got the Netflix, we got the HBO Max, we got the Cinemax, we got the Hulu, we got the YouTube Plus.
Don't forget Paramount Plus.
We got Paramount
And
Plus.
Disney.
We got Disney Plus.
I got Peacock and Disney.
We got Disney Plus. We got Peacock.
And I got
That is literally $8 to
You got a
$9
blue dot.
to
Sissy's got a
$12
blue
to
dot.
$15. Kim coming out of my account on a monthly basis.
You know what?
That adds up.
I don't even
Finally.
add it up. I don't even add it up.
finally, right?
Go, POJ! Sissy's got a blue
26,000
dot.
followers later, right?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
They
So
invite you.
I don't have no dots,
I don't have no dots either.
but I only have 8 friends.
I think
If you're
I have
listening,
5.
please be my friend on
You are such a
Instagram.
goofball.
It could help if I put stuff on Instagram.
I think
right?
I don't know why I don't take the time. I should take more time to take pictures and post on
I mean,
social media.
Instagram.
You know what I was looking at listening to the actually you know what
That
oh
shit.
I have an affinity for
Let's help each other.
and a respect for
Yeah,
is I call her
care.
Auntie Star Jones.
Uh-huh.
I love me some Auntie Star Jones
Mm-hmm.
from Divorce Court.
Mm-hmm.
But she was just saying the other day, I was listening to her, I was over at work and listening to her, but she was just saying that people, all of us as humans, we have survived a freaking pandemic. A lot of people didn't make it
Mm-hmm. A lot
through.
of people didn't.
And that if we are here on this, you know, we're still here and we need to make the best and the most of our time with ourselves, with others, and to just really take time to enjoy ourselves and
I
just
agree.
live, right?
I agree. That's why I'm saying yes to more things now. You know, I'm the type of person I like to be at home and enjoy my space. But I'm saying yes to a lot more things now. You
Okay.
know, teas and, you know,
We had a great
That was
time
so
at the
much
that was
teas.
amazing. I would never say no to you guys, but I'm saying like there's other things that people invite me to. A lot of times I'm just like, no.
It's
The girlfriend event. You're gonna go.
I'm going.
right? Yeah.
I didn't pay for my 2 mimosas.
I paid for my 2 mimosas.
I paid
too.
my cover charge. that's gonna be a
I mean,
good
last
time.
time I went out
so
was
I
like bowling.
said I'm going to do more of those type of things,
I need to
you
get out
know.
and do something.
But taking pictures, I
Go see
love.
Macario.
But then you know, I'm stuck between you guys, and we're gonna get back to murder. But I'm
Yes.
stuck between being in the moment and it being authentic versus just let me take a picture. Don't stand right there, let me take it. Was, you know, I have a friend who does that and it drives me freaking nuts because we're in an authentic moment and she's snapping or she's in the corner like doing her makeup and her hair because she wants us all to take a picture. And I'm like, you're missing this moment that we're like, we had really great moments at our tea party and I can't imagine. Maybe I'll hire a photographer
I
next
thought
time.
about doing that, but you know who I would have hired, and then you wouldn't have been able to do the tea because he would have had you accosted in the bathroom. You would have been able.
I don't know. I don't know.
I really thought about that on the real. I was gonna have him coming. I'm like, nah,
I
dog
get-
can't even do nothing if he here.
But I think Shelly, you and I are thinking about it wrong, right?
are.
Because my boss is really into. She started an Instagram when she joined us, and she has those moments, but a part of those moments is to stage a photo for content. Okay. And I think that's how you and I don't think.
We
don't think like, okay, everything needs to have content, right? And her goal each day is to have 2 to 3 content stories. Even if she's not going to use them all, she's going to have them piled up. And then I think you look at those opportunities.
And then, you know, I don't know. I just think that she's like, it bugs me because a lot of times she's really into it. She's like, okay, now let's all just fake laugh. Like, I was like, okay, you know what, bitch? Nah, I'm not doing that.
you
No.
dog.
Like, when we sit up there, you know, doing all that. I am not acting for no damn camera.
But because real laughs they may not showcase you at your best angle, or you may have a hair out of place or whatever.
I hate it when that happens.
And then when they
You
say,
see
"Oh,
the
that was
picture,
just a
lady,
show,"
like,
even
damn.
Jasmine, when they go on their little vacations, I'm like, "Oh, that's a cute." She's like, "Oh, that we staged that."
Oh,
I'm like, see, but
I don't do
so
that.
I don't either.
Let's do it tonight.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's
tonight.
stage a picture.
Okay.
I know.
So, look, you and we're going to stage the
Yes,
picture
yes.
and we're going to post it.
Okay. I mean, they even.
Now, I will need a tutorial
No,
for
I know that.
posting,
I'm like,
but
okay.
and we're going to
You
post
just
it.
Rashid.
Yeah.
And I be struggling for content, y'all. I be like, Lord Jesus, give me something to put up on the post.
But then I get tired of seeing the same selfie. You just have on a different pair of clothes.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know, I have to change my.
But it don't have to always be you. Couldn't it be like?
But I'm just saying, there's people
if
that
you're
do
watching
that.
a beautiful sunset,
Right?
you should take a picture of that.
You know, I just think it's just too much of that. And then a lot of times, what I do is I'll sneak up on someone because I like pictures that are authentic. And I'll sneak up on somebody, and you know, like I had one when I went to Mexico. One of my friends, she was standing near the water and she was just looking at the water. She did not know I took that picture. Do you know that was her? Because it was authentic. I love the picture because it was authentic. She wasn't faking and
Right,
you know.
right.
And that was her profile picture for like 3 months because she was like, "This is the most beautiful moment you captured," and I didn't even know you were taking this picture. That's the kind of stuff I'm used to. Remember the Polaroids when we used to?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you used to stage the Polaroids.
Well, you know, we was, you know,
Try to put a little hip
that
to
kind
it.
of stuff. But I'm just saying, I just think, you know, I try to capture moments of my friends when they're just.
But you know the moments I don't think you should capture
What's that?
is when you're in the hospital and you got tubes and all those things
Yeah, I
coming
don't like
out
that
and
either.
people post that. I don't know if I'd post that.
I wouldn't post that either.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna want anyone to know.
Oh yeah, those pity party.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't even want anybody. If I'm
Yeah.
not sick, I'm like, y'all put that shit on. I'm gonna fuck somebody up when I get better. I'll be like, what? Y'all niggas did what?
Exactly.
No
hospital
camera.
gown on.
Remember old girl down the street? Remember she wanted to be bad at us? And they had somebody got that picture. That was too intimate. So I don't even know which one of her people played her out. 'Cause that's fucked up.
I would kick the
That
phone out there.
was.
That was
yeah.
cold blood. Cold blooded.
I'm like, did you put this on here?
Shit.
I don't know.
Hey, I don't know.
I have to get better at it, you guys.
I
I'm
have
gonna
to
work
get better
on
at
it
it.
too.
I say that every day, but one day it's gonna be true.
Yeah.
It's
One day.
just.
I just like the be here now thing. I like being here now.
You
know,
say
being
living in the moment,
Mhm.
and enjoy yourself.
Right.
Enjoy. I've been
Enjoy yourself.
playing
Instead
that
of
a lot, Rashid.
I don't mind posing. Like when we pose for our tea or whatever.
We
But
do.
when we had our moments, that were really
I think it was good to get those pictures early.
right.
At the start of the tea.
I agree.
Because, girl, by the end of the day, I was like,
By the end of the
where
day,
am I?
we were
Who
not
am I?
drinking tea.
I know.
We weren't
It was
drinking
a
tea at the
good
end of the
time.
day.
Really kind
But
of
the apple tea I did have was excellent.
My tea was good too. I had
I had a blackberry something, but it was really good.
the blackberry was good.
It was really
I had
good.
apple. It was excellent.
Yeah.
I should have brought
I
y'all
think-
some more tea today, honey, to take with y'all. I
we
ordered
got
those on
some-
Amazon, believe it or not.
Martinis.
I know.
Yeah, we got our tea, girl. We got our tea tonight, girl.
It's so much fun.
It's a little strong, but we got it.
A little.
There's something wrong with me because I'm drinking it like juice over here. So I know
Wow.
that's my old age catching
You got
up with
some
me. I
more
said,
in
Lord,
there.
Lord, what your daddy say?
It's Mayola's metals. I'm Mayola in it. You see my
Where did he get that from? Like, Daddy, what are you talking about?
Whoa.
Okay, guys, I've got a couple people. But we got Jody Arias, guys. We got a lot.
Okay, so
Still.
let's do Jody Arias.
I have a lot to say about Jody,
Jody
but I'm gonna just keep mine for a little longer. Lori,
Can
and
I
Shelley,
be
go ahead.
honest?
Girl, go ahead.
I think she was a good actress. I think she's a good drama queen, like myself. She's a good drama queen, but I can feel her on some of it.
All
I'm
day.
just saying, I
All
can feel
day,
her
every
on
day.
some of it.
Lori, what about you? Look at
I can feel her on some of it.
what's wrong,
because-
dog.
The podcast I listen to, I don't feel her on anything.
You really don't? Okay, let us. Okay,
do
with
not
all due
believe-
respect, we and Shelly gonna slow it down, and
Let's-
you tell
you
us.
break us down. You
Yeah,
break it down.
yeah,
You break it
yeah,
down.
because you heard it today.
Let me
Maybe
give you some chips. Go ahead.
Yeah,
break it
right,
down.
yeah.
Okay, here we go. My Jody Arias.
There we go.
report
Let
here.
me write it down.
So you know, Jody was a child who grew up in rural California, right? She does show signs of conflicting realities as early as the
got
age
it,
of
Rashid?
8,
Hold on,
because
Jody.
she says that she had nearly
Jodi.
a perfect childhood. However, in the next breath, she says that her parents were abusive, that her father would beat her with a belt,
In
and
the
her
green.
mother would take around a wooden spoon in her purse.
We used to do that
That's
to
not
Morgan.
I remember saying that's not big.
We used to spank Morgan with the spoon. Remember, we get the spatula.
That's not abusive.
Pop them little fat ass legs you cutting up. That's listening. What?
That
That's
doesn't sound
routine.
abusive to me.
God, I always use that to spank my kids.
This was the report. Okay.
Okay.
You remember her? You remember her?
So she
Yeah.
she would claim that, right? So she started showing signs of deviant behavior when she was in the 8th grade.
Okay.
She started smoking weed.
Nothing wrong with that.
But
The
her
brain wasn't developed.
just fucking with
Ain't nothing wrong with it when you're an adult. but
weed
I'm
wasn't legal back then.
Yeah, right.
But her
probably got some bad
parents
stuff.
And
searched
she might have
her
had some
room.
Probably got
people
that
too.
white people.
No, they searched her
synthetic?
room and she was growing her own weed.
See,
so she was entrepreneurial at heart.
See,
Okay.
that's the issue right
was
there.
grown-
that's what
her
I'm-
own weed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can identify with some of the shit she done done. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
She was growing
You
her
know
own
she
weed.
loved her makeup, Shelly.
Yeah, 'cause
When
you
they
got-
arrested her,
'cause
she
you
was
are
like, "Can
not-
somebody please get me my makeup?" She
Right.
told the investigators, "I'm
Yeah,
not."
narcissism is a part of this character.
Yeah, because I would have done the same thing.
I would too. I'd be like,
You-
"What the
you're
fuck
not
is
gonna
my
take me a
Mac?"
picture of me busted. You need to get me some makeup.
You just murdered someone.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be a pretty
But do you know what he did though?
Well, let me get there.
Okay.
All right. So once the parents found the weed growing in her
closet?
bedroom,
In the closet. In the closet.
she had it in the closet.
She's like the Kale's eating shit.
I would
Right.
have smelled that shit.
Hold
So
on.
then the
Let's
parents-
hold on.
Maybe it wasn't no good stuff. Maybe she had that.
Hold on.
What?
You're growing it in a closet in a closed, non-dimly lit environment.
hydroponics. You can grow it in a closet.
You can.
You can.
In the closet.
But
In
did
the
they
As long
have
as
that?
you have the light. And,
But did they have that technology back in the day?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But it ain't that far.
This was in Utah.
Okay.
In Arizona.
Okay. Then never mind. Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
So at that point, she no longer trusted her parents. She stopped talking to them all.
They turned her
together.
in. They turned her in. Didn't they turn her in and they called the cops on her?
They did call the police
That's what I
on
thought. They
her,
called the popo.
but it was a setup. They had a friend who was a cop come and try to, scare her straight.
Okay.
Well, it scared her into excommunicating her parents. So she stopped talking to them. And at the age of 16, she left home.
Yeah.
She just left. She's like, I'm out of here. She quit high school. She's out. So she got a job at Denny's. And she met a
stayed with her
dude.
boyfriend.
Met her boyfriend. And her boyfriend did nothing all day, but she went to Denny's so she could work and she could pay all the bills.
And smoke weed.
And smoke weed
smoke.
that I don't know if they were growing weed at the
I can
but anyway,
identify. I can identify.
And then she could get the munchies at Denny's and go get pancakes.
Right.
The lumberjack. She can
she
get the
could
lumberjack.
get the lumberjack special.
Get the lumberjack.
Yeah.
You get the
Well,
munchies.
he was cheating on her while she
Of
was
course
working at
the
Denny's.
fuck he was.
He was cheating on her, which was very devastating for her.
And she kill him.
So I don't know. No, he's not dead.
He's
I don't
still
think. He's still here. So she broke up with him, like break up.
That was a good thing.
And then she met another man, another guy who was nice, but he had a baby. He had a child. She's like about 17, 18 now.
She too young for that baby mama drama.
And she was baby mama for this child. And the boy's family really liked her. Although they said something was a little odd about her. But they liked her because she really embraced this baby and took it on like her own baby. Well, the boyfriend said he didn't want to have any more children. And that was a deal breaker for her.
Okay.
So she broke up with him. And she felt like, I can't keep working at Denny's. I need, this is not the life I want. So she stumbled
that grease in
upon
her hair and shit.
a multi-level marketing company, which was a legal
Prepaid legal.
prepaid
Remember we used to play
legal.
that shit with Nene
prepaid
across
legal.
the street.
Right. So she went to the seminar to become a member of prepaid legal.
We did too.
We did too, but we did not meet Trevor.
We did not meet Travis.
That's where she met Trevor, who was high.
Travis.
Yeah. She met him. He was a little higher in the company because he had been in it for a minute.
He was a smooth talker.
Yeah, and they talked all night long.
Yeah.
All night long.
I'm not mad at Jody. That's all I want to say. But I'm gonna shut up.
But he cute. He cute.
He was cute. He was cute. Even the guy they had on Lifetime, he was cute too.
So they talked all night long. She really felt a connection to him. He felt a connection to her. He himself had some issues because his parents were drug addicts. And they abused him. He suffered every type of abuse imaginable until the age of 10 when his grandparents came and got him. And the grandparents were Mormons. And he really resonated toward the Mormon principle and the Mormon faith
Until he met
he
Jody.
adopted it. No, he shared it with Jody, And Jody herself became Mormon. And Trevor, is it Trevor or
Travis.
Travis baptized her.
Yes, he did.
As a
Okay,
Mormon.
can I say that
See,
she
this is
became
what I'm
Mormon
saying.
within 2 months of meeting him?
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
she did very
because he
quickly.
told her the girl that I marry will be Mormon. He told her that, Rashid. And then she said, I know what I want to do, Travis. And he goes, what? She goes, I want to be Mormon. And he goes, okay, now he going to baptize you? That's like Pastor G baptizing people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so just to give the general synopsis.
And then all of a sudden, you find out that he ain't just chooking with you. You know what I'm saying? He
I'll drink
baptizing
that.
other hoes.
I'll
He
drink-
baptizing all the hoes on the front
I'll
row at the
drink
church.
That was not in the podcast.
no.
Okay,
Did he
so
cheat?
That's
Yeah,
not.
he did have that little homegirl, that little Mormon girl.
But
Remember he was
they
dating
were
her and
broken
she
up.
slashed her tires?
Michelle, Mimi.
Oh,
no,
girl,
they
she was
said
tripping.
that-
She knew what she was doing.
Mimi. That was Mimi.
Well, Mimi-
but
Mimi was-
Mimi
Mimi
was
didn't
after
give up
they
the
broke
cookies.
up.
Mimi wasn't giving it up.
Mimi didn't give
Because
up the
see,
cookies.
Okay,
see,
so
this is what.
so here's everything that we have on Miss Jody Arias.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think Jody was a little unstable.
She is a
Yeah.
little unstable.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we know
Her
that,
truth is different than his truth.
Yes, of course, but the thing is, we don't know his truth because he dead.
No,
They're
his-
recording.
We're
There are a
talking
lot
about
of
in the.
recordings
I'm
from
talking about in the.
Travis.
Well, she had the camera,
With the murder tapes.
which she put in the washing machine.
Why did she put that shit in the
Why did
washing
she put it in
machine?
the
I don't know what
washing
the frick. I
machine?
think she had. By
Destroy
then
the
she's
film?
gone. I think by then she's woohoo.
to try to destroy
Because
the
she's
film.
trying to wash away the evidence.
And she
Right.
did with the pictures, but didn't realize
memory
the
card.
card. There you go.
Right, okay.
They still would have, I think, traced it to her.
So
She
no,
in
no.
the photos.
Right. They said that's your foot. She said that's not my foot.
She said,
They said that's your
not my-"
pants. She's like that's my pants.
I would have been like that. Ain't me.
okay, so
If you're going down, you can just act a fool at
Right.
that point. You may as well. Shit,
me.
fuck it.
right, so
That ain't
Go
my
down. and blaze
Rashid
it.
has a point he wants
Okay,
to
I'm
make.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
okay, so literally her entire thing was that she claimed self-defense when she
I don't think that's true.
no.
I don't think
She
that's
did
right.
say that. She
Did say that, but
that's
there
not
is
true.
refuting evidence.
That's
So
what I said.
Make
Her
your point,
truth.
and I'll give you the alternative.
I
Her
said
truth
she
is-
claimed. I said she
I'm telling you, the
claimed
naked truth.
self-defense.
Remember that?
That wasn't exactly what
That's
happened.
true. We're doing
another show.
She's
We're doing
claiming
another
it
show.
because literally, like this was a sensationalized case going on since 2008 all the way to 2013.
To this day, look at us.
Back on mama of just her perpetually lying and changing her story
Repeatedly.
every time.
But let me tell you the best story. When they first got her, she said she didn't know she didn't know that she was there. She didn't know, right? But then when they found her finger, her handprint, right? She said, "Yeah, you know what? I was there."
That's what she said about
But let me tell you what
Kyra.
happened. We was taking some
what
photos.
happened was-
What happened was
Yeah.
then two robbers
Assailant.
with ski masks.
Yeah.
That was
Came
the
in.
best. Came in.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
hear that?
Right? And they stabbed him 27 times.
But did you see
and
her in the
shot him
interrogation
head.
room doing backflips and,
And
shit?
singing all
and doing
stars
somersaults?
are
Did you see that?
shining.
She was tripping.
Yeah,
she was tripping.
because she knew that she was being taped.
Like
so
her,
she wanted her,
her and
voice.
Gypsy Rose.
She wanted her voice to be heard, and that's
That
the
much.
reason why when they came in to interview her, she changed her top. She had her stripes on at the bottom,
Remember that?
but she changed her
Yeah,
top
and did her hair.
And she did her hair,
Yep.
and she was patting the thing. And what's that little white lady's name? What's she do murder? What's her name?
Reba McEntire.
No,
Betty Ross.
she's a country one. She said, "Look at you. Would you look at this interview? Makeup, and you're being accused of murder."
That's
Nancy Grace.
Nancy Grace.
Nancy
Yeah.
Grace, that bitch be on that bullshit.
And
Nancy
she be
Grace.
like, "You're accused of murder, and you care about your makeup."
Yes, bitch. Yes. And
There
you
you
should
go.
care more about yours. That's some.
Okay. Okay, so back up mama. As we know, Travis.
Nancy Grace.
So as we know, Travis Alexander was 30 years old when he was murdered. He was a church. He was a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of
Latter-day
Latter Saints,
Saints.
Latter-day
who
Saints.
worked
Definitely
as a
gotta watch.
motivational speaker and
He was a con
insurance
man.
I think he
and
was.
insurance salesman.
He was a con man.
Mr. Paralegal.
Okay,
And he talked that he did that
Multi-level
smooth
marketing.
talk with Jody. That's what he did.
So they
And met the wrong one.
met up.
Around.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're gonna be quiet.
I'm sorry.
They met up at a conference up in Vegas around 2006
That's true.
when he was still in Arizona and she was in Palm Desert, California. Next year, they were a committed couple. After 5 months of being together, they broke up.
But don't you missed the part where she moved. She picked up her shit
moved
in
all the way across
California
town.
and moved.
It doesn't even say that
And he
here.
was mad that she moved near him because he couldn't play his game. See, because he had
Because she was spying on him
or either,
all the time.
or ended
all
up
the
in his
time.
room
So
naked.
she was a stalker. Okay.
Because she had the garage door code. She put in the code. This is after they broke up. Put in the code. Come and get in his bed, and he would still have sex with her.
He was still banging.
Even though he said he couldn't because he was Mormon.
Right.
Then
And
she
he
would
didn't tell
even
me he couldn't have
climb
caffeine.
Climb through the
Right. They
doggy
still maintain
door.
a sexual relationship. Even after they broke up, they still maintain a sexual relationship.
He
That's-
was continually having sex with her, continually,
Right,
Rashid.
right.
Remember, Rashid, this is the gal that he referred to as his 3-hole wonder. So she's letting him
Third
go
hole.
inside her
Third
in
hole.
every
Wait,
way imaginable. There's only 3 holes
wait,
that a gal has. Sugar Free talks about it.
Not sugar-free.
Sugar Free?
Yes,
Sugar
that was
free.
sugar free.
Yeah,
3
sugar
holes.
free.
Oh no.
He said
Oh, she was a free. Okay.
that was Jody, and she letting him do all of that. I don't know, but I heard
That reminds
that
me of one
back
of
door
my friend's
entry
exes.
can be
She-
quite challenging.
It can be. That's
It's,
what I
it's a
heard.
recovery process.
Lori, that's what I heard.
No, trust me. My friend went through this exact same thing. Except she's not dead. Where literally she was a freak. She literally did anything and everything for him.
Lori
She
can't.
let him have fun.
Oh my God!
And he was like, dang, I cannot let this go, but you are toxic for me and I have to let you go. But god damn it, you let me have freedom. I can't.
It's too much.
Okay, okay, so basically
I heard that.
it was
that's
wild.
that next year, after they broke up in 2007, it was that next year in June that his body was found. They determined that it was 5 days afterwards,
fool.
after he was already murdered. They discovered his body 5 days later. Multiple stab wounds, gunshot wound to the head,
cut
and
his
a
fucking throat.
deeply and widely
She
slit
nearly
throat.
decapitated him.
But what we have to acknowledge is that during that period of the breakup before she killed him, she found another boyfriend. And old boy had issues and was sweating her
yeah.
about having another
Instead of
boyfriend.
Only because
right?
she was sending him photographs of her having sex with the new boyfriend. That's why she was sending him pictures like, I'm getting the new D.
Too much.
Check it out.
She was
I
like,
think they
"This
went
is what
too
you
far,
could
Shell.
have. This is what you're missing out on. Please love me."
Because he kept saying that he didn't want her, he didn't need her in that way. And that's what she kept saying. Well, what more do you want from me? I have let you bang me 3 different ways. What more?
That's what I'm saying. You gonna go through the back door and treat me like this and tell me I got
That's
to go?
see that is why I believe, with all due respect, Shelly. Now I just tell me what people I read in Cosmopolitan as over life and shit. What I'm saying is,
Oh shit!
you let a mug go in the back door.
Oh, motherfucker.
In the back door, and then he gonna come with the bullshit? Nah, he had to. She said,
You got to
"Now I
go.
got to cut
Yeah,
your
yes.
ass." That's what she did, and she did it. Did you guys see the Lifetime Movie Network version of it? She picked that fool up after she done just. She was just worse than us. That fool.
That's why she had on the cuts. on her
Psycho.
hand.
What's that man name? Yeah, Norman Bates.
Norman Bates.
She
That's
made
why I
Norman
put
look
Norman
like. She got that fool.
And
he
she
was just
had
looking at her
cuts
like
on
this.
her hands. She had cuts on her hands.
he was just looking stupid.
And her hair was dyed.
Well, of
And she
course.
dyed her shit. She was like,
well,
fuck that shit. I'm a brunette now. She went in on that fool. And then she picked him up. And then she shot him in the head. Boom!
Yeah.
Did the motherfucker still later? And then she picked the motherfucker's head up.
and then slid
And
it.
just slit his fucking throat from here all the way around.
Talking about now, go through the back
She
door.
said, now go through the back door. Who asks you finna go in now? Nobody. Nobody does.
See, See,
I'll go through the back door.
see, this is that psychotic business where it's just like you
But I
have
understand because
you have to. No.
You gonna treat me like shit after I let you go to the back door. I'm gonna have to kill you. I'm gonna have to kill you.
No, but it's like
Jackie.
okay.
They say that's some painful shit, people.
For some
We gotta
people,
ride
it
to make-
is.
Look,
but
what did Monique say? That is some horrible shit.
But yet, some people actually enjoy it. So it's like
That's true. That's true. That's true.
That is true. But I can tell you, if Shelly Carter do that shit for you,
You can't
You
be just
may
act
not
like
live.
yeah. You just gonna act like I ain't shit.
Now I got
like
to touch
literally,
you.
you got shit on your
because
dick, and now
basically
you
he
ain't
did
shit.
tell her. He did tell her.
Yeah.
You got to go because I'm getting ready to go to was it Vegas?
Yeah.
With Mimi.
With Mimi.
Him and Mimi were
But then
going to
you-
Cancun.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
somewhere.
Cancun.
We're going to
So you
Cancun.
didn't went through the back
Right.
door. You done went through all the 3 whole wonders. Then you gonna tell me I got to go pack my shit so you can go to Cancun with Mimi?
I mean,
Oh,
she was
no.
already
No.
crazy. So it's
No,
like
you
know.
ain't leaving here today, boo. You're not leaving here today. You're not leaving.
I
here
mean,
today.
she was already crazy.
You
She
not
was
leaving
she
here
was
today.
already crazy to
Somebody's
begin
dying.
with.
But it was premeditated because she got gasoline from the boyfriend who had the baby. He gave
She
her
did
2
get gas. She
cans
did
of
get
gasoline,
gas. She did.
so
She
she
went over to
didn't
grandma's
have
house
to
and got her
stop.
gun too. She went and got that gun from her grandma's house.
And then she
You gotta go
drove
to Granny. You can always go to
nonstop
Granny.
to Arizona and
She had to
killed
kill
him.
his ass.
Because you know what? She was clever though. She was clever. She was like, let me get you at your most vulnerable. Let me start taking pictures of your motherfucking ass. And she was like, click, come on, baby, pose, click. Okay. Let me put my hair in pigtails and you click pictures of me. Oh, you going to Cancun with Mimi? Okay, let me turn around.
Well, she
Go,
was,
oh, you gonna take a shower? Go take a shower, boo. I'll wait for you.
Then that's when,
she was
That's when that
already
lady-
psycho.
but that's when that lady started texting him.
Yeah.
Remember, she picked up his BlackBerry. And remember, old girl's like, "Oh, you want Jody? Well, you know what? Go back to the girl who ain't." What did she say? Go back to the girl who's only good for one thing. That did it. She said, "Okay,
right,
you just
and
So you,
then
so you done told this heifer that I'm only
fucking- right that I'm the 3 hoes."
and I didn't become a Mormon for your ass.
Right, and I'm a Mormon and got baptized by you.
Yeah, well,
Because you know what I mean? You start playing with the
true.
church and sex in the church. In the church.
oh,
I'm just saying, people do all kinds of things I hear about. I don't know.
Yeah, she
Right,
converted
but-
and broke up with her boyfriend of 4 years.
For
she
him.
did for him.
Of 4 years. I've changed my life
But
around.
I could see, with all due respect, guys, I know we've been acting
she was
funny.
crazy.
God rest his-
Eight ways from Sunday.
That's a lot. That's a lot. If it's an emotional relationship, and this girl really loved this guy. She really did love this guy in her own way. You know what I mean?
She
She
did.
really, really did.
She did. You just can't treat people like shit. That's all I'm just saying.
That's the
She
part I'm
literally
saying.
went yonder on
You
him.
know what I mean?
That was
You just never know
You
what you're
can't
gonna
just
get.
treat people bad. You just can't be doing that. You can't. And that's what he did. He basically told her, "You got to go. I'm getting ready to get." I'm
Yeah,
going
but he
outside."
wanted her to be his bedroom.
His
freakadee.
what do you call it? His bed wench.
Yeah, that's what he
Basically,
wanted.
the
But
hold
she
on,
was not wife
friends
material.
with benefits
for him.
that-
He wanted her to be whore material.
basically the whole friends with benefits. That's where she tried to.
He didn't even really, I think, want to be friends. He just wanted someone to sleep with.
With,
I
right.
think so.
Right.
Because his friends, they all said, she's crazy. You need to let her
Leave-
go.
leave her
She's too
alone.
possessive.
This girl's ended up in your
She's- yeah.
bed. You know,
But he
while-
kept sleeping with her.
He did keep sleeping with her.
Right,
That's where-
because like I said back when there were times where it's just like it's just for a man, it's just the value of just being able to do anything and everything will override your actual sense of danger. We're just like,
Yeah.
I know I have to let her go, but it's just like, but she let me do everything.
But there's a price.
There's a-
That is
you gonna
why
get
his
the
throat
wrong
got sliced.
one. And he got the wrong one.
Yeah, back when
He got
that's
the
why
wrong
I had to
one.
talk my
And see,
homeboy
Mimi
out
was
of
a
his
challenge.
relationship.
See, Mimi was a challenge because Mimi wasn't giving it up.
Yeah, and remember
Mimi
he was trying to, and she was
but
like,
he
"I don't
gonna
do
get
that."
It. He was gonna get it in Cancun. That's his plan. To get it in Cancun. But he didn't get to Cancun.
Nope.
Jody said, "You're not going.
Guess where you
You're
won't
not
be.
going.
Every little step you take will be right here.
Yep. Well. Now she was convicted in 2013 of first-degree murder. 5 jurors found her guilty premeditated murder, and 7 found her guilty of both premeditated and felony murder. A verdict that sparked elation among Alexander's family members. However, the judge declared a mistrial in the penalty phase after the jury deadlocked on whether Ayers deserved the death penalty.
And she said, she's smart. She told him she wanted the death penalty. She said she didn't want to live in jail. But I think that was reverse psychology, because she wanted to live. So she told him, oh yeah, I just want to die. If I have to go to jail, I just want to die. She said that.
She did.
And I think that was her reverse psychology. She's very smart. She's very smart. I think she's overly. So I think her IQ is very high, like most murderers. I think her IQ is very, very high. She knew what she was doing.
So
and
she's like a Harley Quinn, where it's like
she said, if I'm going to be known for murder, I'm going to be cute and I'm going to be famous. That's why she was singing in that little confession room. She was singing and doing hand, because she's going to be known that know how to sing, pretty, can do her headstands, and convicted of murder. That's what she wanted to do.
And batshit crazy.
And she's been cutting up while she's been in the pen.
Oh, what has she been doing?
They actually got a second movie out about her.
What?
On Lifetime, too. She been in there doing some shenanigans. Jody ain't stop, can't stop. Bad bitch for life. Jody not playing. But what about Eileen
Okay,
Wuornos?
so
I don't know that person.
Wait, who?
I do.
Eileen Wuornos.
The monster. Yeah.
The monster?
Charlize Theron played her, remember?
I think she had a little bit of Jody in her. I really do. I think that she has been through some stuff with some of the men and some of her John, but I think
Aileen.
I think that so Eileen was the famous female serial killer. You know, there's not any. She's like the first female and only so far, right? The first and only female serial killer.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
She was also executed.
and she was.
They executed her?
Yes.
She was killing white men down in Florida. It wouldn't happen.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Look at what she said. Ooh.
Let me see what she looked like.
But you know, I had a.
Crack kills. When I say crack kills, I literally mean crack kills, because she definitely looked like she was on.
Rashid, can you show Laura? You can't show it up there, huh?
Okay, hold on. Let me go.
Oh, no, I can look up.
They did a lot to her. She went through a lot as her childhood. She was raped by her uncles, raped by her. I think her dad was mean to her.
People
they
would
made her
just treat
sleep
her-
in the snow and stuff back
Sleep in the
she
snow?
would sleep outside in the snow.
I think that so much happened to her in her childhood that she began to hallucinate a little bit or exaggerate. Like when she would meet with a John, she would instantly think that they were trying to hurt her, which is possible. But every single John
She
you
was a
meet
prostitute?
She became a prostitute.
Well, there's also the fact.
But she was married for a while. She had a child. She was raped by a family member. She had a baby at the age of 15.
Right.
She had this baby. I'm sorry, go ahead, Rashid.
Okay, so yeah, so there was that part of that, and then there was also the part of when she was born, her mom was 14, dad was 18 at the time of just her being born. Her mom gave birth to her older brother Keith, and so after 2 years of marriage, then she was born, and then she filed for divorce. And then
left the kids, didn't she? Leave Eileen and her brother with the father.
With their father.
And so
He was
literally
mean to
Eileen was born at the when the mom was 16. And she never met her father, as he was incarcerated at the time of her birth, diagnosed with schizophrenia, was later sentenced to life
That's what I mean.
imprisonment.
I think she was suffering from schizophrenia.
But she went through a period where she actually had a husband. And remember, after she had this baby as a child, but then she actually had like a husband, like a real life for a moment, and it just didn't go very well. He started, beating on her.
Or abusing her.
Yep.
And her daddy used to abuse her too, so she left that, and then
I think she just got
the men it was just too much abuse, I believe, Shelley.
men.
Yeah, so
And
the father-
Then it's like the least little move somebody made. I'm not taking that.
She
shit.
wasn't having it.
She wasn't having it. She chopped
And then after she started killing him, she just got good too.
right.
Right. So it's like, yes.
Killing John, but she needed that money though, Rashid.
Yeah, so basically, the father was in prison for kidnapping and raping a 7-year-old girl. He then committed suicide inside the prison by hanging himself. And Diane, the mom, she abandoned the kids. wings.
Then their grandparents took care of them for a little while, didn't they? Grandparents.
And leaving them with their maternal grandparents, Laurie and Britta Wormels, both alcoholics, who legally
And
adopted
the grandparents abused them
Keith
too.
and Eileen on March 18th.
I don't know if the grandparents did.
I don't think so, Lord.
And by the age of 11,
I think
know, though.
so much had happened to them by the time they get to their grandparents.
right. But then by the age of 11, she began engaging in sexual activities in school in exchange for cigarettes, drugs, and food. She had also engaged in sexual activities with her brother.
I told you something like that.
Said that her alcoholic grandfather had sexually assaulted and beaten her when she was a child.
Yeah, that knew.
Before beating her, he would force her to strip out of her clothes. But in 1970, at age 14, she became pregnant, having been raped by a
For her
friend.
grandfather?
Yes, I know.
By a friend.
Yes.
She got pregnant by a friend, but she was raped by her grandfather.
Oh, but
As
she
well.
didn't
He
get
raped her
pregnant for
too.
the grandfather.
She's
No.
been through
No.
HE double hockey sticks.
So at some point, you know, when
then they took her baby.
When does your brain like?
Yeah.
That's
Because
process
every
much
man
over
that she
that.
came into contact with hurt her.
Right.
Hurt her. I mean, like, really hurt her
Right.
in some way. Then remember, Shelley, she went lesbian
Right.
for a while.
But I don't really think she was. I
don't
think she
either.
just did because she felt safe with a
With that
woman.
girl.
With that girl.
Right, and then she
But
went
then
into-
when she became the serial killer is because after she had been through all of this trauma,
Yes.
she would prostitute, and then the moment they showed anything that wouldn't look right to her, she shot him.
But you also got to remember that one John that beat her and put alcohol in her anus. He had anal. We went back door with her. He did anal sex with her without any type of lubricant. And he tore her
And
savagely. Then he turned around and put alcohol and bleach
Oh my God.
on her buttocks.
Oh.
To
Where
get-
he had just ripped her booty hole out, and then he gonna pour all this disinfectant in her body. I say, pray for me. By the grace of God, she was able to get her pistol, and he was finna kill her. He's still coming back for some more for her, and he's finna come for more. And she just got that pistol and turned right around, boom,
Yep.
shot that mother sucker.
So she became
Then from there,
serial
Shelley,
killer.
it was on crack.
Okay,
Everybody.
so
That I didn't know. But yeah, she became.
God.
Now that's even depicted in the film.
right.
so here's everything that has happened to
Look,
her
Lord.
in
That's so much.
her criminal in her criminal career. This is just criminal career now. So
No, I think it's
age
a little one.
18. No.
Yeah.
I already went over early life.
I don't care what you say.
I already went over
Say
early
what?
life.
Somebody do that to your butt and pour some bleach and some shit on you. There's some justification in that.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
I don't give a good goddamn what's on that computer. I'm just telling you.
okay. As I continue. At the age of 18, she was arrested
need another
in
drink.
Jefferson County for driving under the influence, disorderly conduct,
Shit is too
and
much.
firing a 22 caliber pistol from a moving vehicle. She was later charged with failure to appear. She hitchhiked to Florida, met a 69-year-old man, Louis
He's
Grace,
old ass. I'm pumping on her.
fell. They quickly married and announced that their nephrals were pregnant on the local
Somebody
newspaper society
wife don't want to believe that her man was trying to get Eileen.
She was in some conversations, was arrested for assault. She also hit him with his own cane, leading him
It don't even matter.
to gain a restraining
Just tell
order
At this
against
point,
her within weeks of the marriage. She
your mind is
returned to
made up.
Michigan,
I know, girl. I know.
and she was arrested in another club and charged with assault and
Taylor
disturbing
said,
peace
"Who
for
is this
throwing
case?
cue
What-
balls."
Taylor.
This is
her
the
name?
case of
Eileen
Eileen Warnos. There's a movie.
of
Monster.
Eileen Warnos.
Monster. Oh, tell her there's a movie on. Is it Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix and it's starring Charlize Theron and
As-
Nina Ricci.
This was a movie Monster from 2003.
And she gained a bunch of weight for that film, and she just went into
And
total
she
grunge, and she killed that
Got the
shit.
Academy Award for Best
She
Actress.
absolutely deserved every frigging ounce of it,
And
in my
so
opinion.
that happened. Her
But she's
brother
gorgeous.
died of esophageal cancer.
Who did?
Her brother.
But y'all have a question for the panel
Okay.
before we get, before we close out. The Warnos case, I followed that case and studied that case and did a little bit of work on it in school, Shell. But in doing that, and I'm thinking of Dahmer right now because it came up again, different shows that I watch, is that law enforcement helps to create serial killers.
They do.
That they are aware, like what you're just telling me. Law enforcement has been called out a multitude of times with regard to Dahmer.
Right.
Multiple neighbors, of course, the black lady, continuously. But different people reported it to law enforcement. There's something fucking weird is going on in here.
Something ain't right.
Okay? And then they just don't really do anything about it. Because they, in some people say in law enforcement's purview, you're cleaning the streets for them. You're ridding the streets of bottom feeders, as Tabor would say.
Right. And
Even also with her. That's where I really heard it for the first time, watching her case, Warno's.
she's been arrested
After a while,
so many times.
Yeah, they knew somebody on that interstate was killing men. And they knew it. And they didn't stop it.
Right.
They were like putting decoys out, having her kill more people. So I just begged, to ask. And I've heard that in another story about a serial killer, a black guy in the Midwest. I want to say Ohio, and he was just killing crackheads.
Oh, yes.
You remember what I'm talking about, dog? And he was that house, and remember they ended up having to tear that house down?
And the 4 women.
Yes.
One of them had no teeth. Like, yeah.
Yes,
what was his name?
Yes.
And
Girl,
he looked crazy.
Yes.
And he admitted to his sister.
Yes.
He said, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
And he had them all in that creepy house, girl, and he was just doing all kind of weird, funky shit to these people, girl. Just all kind of, and they knew it. And people, they kept going to the house. Remember, they kept smelling that weird shit. They thought it was down the street. There was to be an old barbecue pit joint. And they would see, old cows. You have like food, and they tell me, oh, that's where the old barbecue pit used to be. Like, no, that ain't no fucking barbecue.
Filthy in that house.
Yes.
It was 3 stories, and there was flies.
Oh.
And there were dead people in the house.
Yeah, the lady said he was trying.
And then she fell out the window.
Yeah, she fell out the window, butt ass naked.
Yep, running down the street, asshole naked.
Still ain't called the police.
And you didn't call the police. Come on, you know something going on, and you can smell death. And he talking about it's the chicken coop down the street. What
Chicken
the fuck?
coop.
No, it's not the chicken coop up the street. It's not.
Okay.
It's you.
Just like Dahmer, they were saying it was the meat cleaver people on the corner.
That's the same shit. That's bullshit.
And then he kept telling the black lady that lived next to him. She said, Jeffrey, something's not right. It's smelling really bad. He said, oh, it's some old meat in the refrigerator. She was like,
well, clean that shit out.
She was like,
yeah, but okay, let's say it is. Clean it. Get rid of it. Fix it. Get rid of it.
She was like, you really need to do something about that.
Okay.
She's over there just caramelizing black people.
Right.
And because
That's
they were gay
crazy
black
shit,
men,
dog.
because they were gay black men, nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
Right. Okay. So back to the case of
I'm done.
of Eileen. She did try to commit
Same thing
suicide
with
at
them
least like
black
6
girls that was
times.
crackheads. They was coming to his house to smoke crack.
Yes. And he was killing them and shit.
Killing them while they smoking the crack.
Yeah, he invited him over and said, y'all can come over and get some free crack. Invited him. Yeah, that was that fool. He invited him over there for free crack and then kill his ass.
Right.
And then some shit, then put him down in the basement.
One girl said she
and
was
make
her
him
she
naked.
wasn't going nowhere to sit her ass down, and she sit down and she look over, it's a dead body.
Yes. What would you do, dog? What do you do? That's why you don't go to a place with nobody.
You just have to take me out.
Okay, so
You just have to take me out because I'm not fucking you with this dead body. You just have to take me out. You can cut my throat, whatever. Let's just stop it right now because this shit right here, I am not fucking you with a dead corpse next to me. That's not happening. And this shit is about a week or 2 old. Like really? You just take me out.
okay,
Here.
so I saw the case, the person that did the unthinkable
I am not
to
fucking
Miss
with that.
woman Wernos, age 51. His name was Richard Charles Mallory.
And she killed him, right?
Yes, back when he was the one that beat, raped, and sodomized her after he drove her to an abandoned area for sexual services.
He deserved it.
That was him. Then there was
Then she just started killing
David
people.
Andrew Spears, declared missing on 1990. His naked body was found in the U.S. in Route 19 in Florida and Citrus County. He was shot 6 times by a .22 pistol. Charles Edmund Cadden, 40, was a part-time rodeo worker.
But you know what I think was so
Eric
tragic?
just texted. He said, this show should have a warning for those who have weak stomachs.
I know.
Like,
The thing-
too much.
I forgot we should have said that with murder. You got to have a pretty good stomach.
Yeah.
You know what,
Says,
Shelley,
I
was so
agree
tragic?
with Auntie. Law enforcement has
Yes.
unfortunately came a long way from the 1950s, but still lacks a lot of knowledge, training, and empathy to deal with mental health people
Like
and
me.
criminals in general.
I don't know if I remember.
That's true, Tay.
When it comes to mental health, they suck ass.
Yeah.
They do not know how to handle that situation.
Like the man that had a mental health issue. I don't know what state it was, but he
It was
got
in
ate up
Florida.
by the big bed bugs.
Bed bugs.
Yes.
Recently?
Recently.
He got ate up by bed bug?
Yes.
He died?
He died from the bed
In
bugs.
prison?
Where the bed bugs come
His
from?
family is suing the
penitentiary?
what is it? Rashid, bring it up.
Hold on a
penitentiary?
second. I know
He was in
who
jail and he
you're
had mental
talking
illness,
about.
and they just threw him
Wait,
in a
wait.
cell. He threw
With
him
the bed bugs, and the bed bugs ate him up?
Yes, he died from bed bugs.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
literally,
goodness.
it was a
There he is. That's his name. The little
former-
guy. I know his face. That's the
She
guy.
said
former
that's it.
NFL
Oh my God.
player.
Former NFL
NFL
player. Nah, you
player.
bull jiving. We got to talk about Ray Caruth.
Bolton jail.
Ray Caruth.
I had him on there too. I had OJ too.
OJ.
Yeah, fact about
The
my-
juice.
His name was LaShawn Thompson.
He was a former NFL star, and he had mental illness. And they threw him in a cell where he should have been getting psychiatric help. They threw him in a cell, and he died from the bed bugs.
That's
This just happened.
atrocious.
Rashid, what's the date? What's the date? It just happened.
This was from literally not too long ago.
No,
Probably
it's recent.
Yeah, it was literally like last week.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened was that the family said Thompson's body had more than 1,000 bites, and that his jail cell was a death chamber. Because he was found
they gotta
dead
sue
in his
them.
cell in September, covered in bed bugs. Colin Kaepernick is willing to pay for the independent autopsy to try to pinpoint how he died. But it's the fact that he was covered in over 1,000
Bites.
Could you imagine just laying there getting bit up? Poor
No.
thing.
Poor thing. It's just
Oh,
horrible. When I
no.
heard that,
You
I
think
was
he was
like,
on meds or needed meds? How could I'm wondering, was he
I
on
think
meds?
he needed meds. He needed
And-
obviously needed more help than just to be laying in a cell and be dead. You know.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
Dear
in fact,
God
he
bless
was a
us.
Georgia
Jesus.
man, LaShawn Thompson. Ian Lavabas and 50 Cell family claims the heartbroken family Georgia inmate of
They're
Friday
suing. They're suing. The family's suing.
yeah.
called for a
They
criminal
should.
investigation into his death behind bars last fall, alleging that he was eaten alive by bugs in his filthy cell. LaShawn, 35, was found unresponsive in his cell in a psychiatric wing at Fulton County Jail on September 13th.
They said you don't want to go
Michael
to the
D.
psych
Harper,
ward
an
with
attorney
Ben.
for Thompson's family, wrote in a statement shared by the Post Friday that Thompson had been in custody since he was arrested for misdemeanor simple battery in June.
Well.
Wow. Taylor texts and says a lot of times they let mental health cases go unlooked, and they are able to kill or injure others for much longer. So if they were to give them the initial help at times, serial killers can stop before they begin the streaks of murders in some cases.
Serial killers.
Yeah, I think we have seen today a connection, right? A correlation between mental health and sociological issues and serial killing.
Do you think all serial killers have mental health issues?
Mm.
Something
too
ain't
general.
Right. Something ain't
That's
right.
kind of generalized.
I mean, I think there's some types of psychological issues. Some different types. Some may be schizophrenic. Some may be, I just think there's different types. Some ain't right.
Or sometimes is, I'm going to say it, is murder ever justifiable? Justifiable
That's a
homicide?
deep one.
And what constitute, in your opinion, justifiability?
I think the lady we just talked about, who's being sodomized and
That was
then
by the one-
tortured
by the
after
one person.
the sodomy, I think it's an issue of self-protection. If you have to kill someone to get them off of you, to keep you safe, is a justifiable murder.
Right.
Right, I would say for that one case, but then the other 6 or 7 cases afterwards, yeah, that's when it becomes okay, there's something wrong here.
Yeah. When they become serial killers.
Yeah.
I have an interesting one. I don't know if you guys want to move on or you guys want to save it for our next one, but this is a pretty good one. It's murder by text.
What is that?
Is that girl that had that little boy and was sending him those text messages? He killed himself and shit.
What?
Oh,
She
yeah,
caught a
yes,
case,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Yep. Yep. She was just like, kill yourself, you stupid
Michelle
fuckwad.
Carter.
Yeah.
No relation. No relation.
Yes. Go ahead.
No relation.
You sure you don't know her show?
But Conrad Roy, remember he
Yeah.
had some videos. He did have some
remember
problems
that.
with depression and anxiety.
And she was his girlfriend at the time. And literally, she literally pushed him over the edge. Basically told him,
Go ahead and do it.
to
Go ahead and
go
do it.
ahead and
I got some quotes
go ahead
here.
and do it. Kill
I got
you.
some quotes.
Go for
What'd
it.
she say?
He said, I'm going to do it. And she says, when are you going to do it? Are you really going to do it?
Ain't that fucked up?
That's fucked up.
And I believe
But
she
wait a minute.
she
Then
got charged afterwards.
Then she said, what if you fail? She said, what if you fail? He said, well, then I'm a failure. She said, no. What are you going to do if you fail? Are you going to try again?
Is that horrible? I'd be like, look here, bitch. When you gonna kill yourself? And you kill yourself, I'm gonna kill myself.
No, I mean, if you fail, will you try again?
Isn't that horrible?
I'm going to do it. You promise?
Isn't that something? Yeah,
wow.
she did.
She said, you promise?
She did.
How you going to do it? Are you going to hang yourself or are you going to stab yourself?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? When are you gonna do it? I thought you said you were gonna do it.
And here's the killer part. He gets an old generator and he puts it in his truck so he could poison himself through carbon monoxide. And he has cold feet and he jumps out. And she says, no, what are you doing? Get back in.
The person? The
young
girl?
She's a young girl. She's a teenager girl.
She's 17 and he was 17 and she was 17. And she was like, no,
was
what
in
are
high
you doing?
school.
Get back in.
And then she gonna befriend his mama.
And say, you were a good mother to Conrad.
He loved you so much.
So they think that she did this for attention. It's almost like how I feel about Jody. Jody's like, if I'm going to be known for murder, I'm going to be cute, I'm going to be this, that, I'm going to be known for a good singer. But she actually held a charity for mental illness in his name. And it was a baseball game. And she liked the attention she was getting for being the girlfriend of the boy who committed suicide.
Isn't that something?
So she would tell her friends, I told him to get back there in there and now I'm feeling bad about that.
She told him to get back in the car so he could die.
Die, right.
What is wrong with you? What's taking so long?
Was she charged with anything?
This is the first time in the state of Massachusetts that somebody was charged with involuntary manslaughter and they weren't even present. First time.
Because she just kept coaxing him on, and she was really
For 2
taking
weeks,
off.
they had 2 weeks of text where she kept saying, when you gonna do it?
I'm like, bitch, when you gonna do it? Isn't that horrible?
And then she tells the mother, I tried my hardest to tell him. So, bitch, you knew? And you
Yes.
didn't call? At that point, the mother didn't know that she was, because the
Brain
police was
drag.
connected.
No, she didn't call nobody because she wanted him to kill himself.
I don't even understand
But
why.
I'm saying, but most of the time, that's your reaction, right? Like, oh my God, my boyfriend's gonna kill him.
Right.
Let me call somebody. Let me call his mom. Let me call suicide prevention, something.
No.
But she keeps egging him on for 2 weeks. And then
And then he finally did it. Was he
she told him
successful?
to get back in. He was successful because she told him to get back in.
Oh, God.
It's in my mind control. What do you
But
think
this
about
is the
that?
part that killed me. She think it's because of her meds. It's the reason why she was acting this way.
People come up with all kind of stuff.
Her meds? She on mental health meds?
That's some bullshit.
That's an attorney's
Yeah.
narrative.
right. That's her attorney's narrative.
Yeah, her attorney's
Yeah.
narrative. Because all you have to do, people, is reasonable doubt for one juror, right? And that's what you're going for. That
She
is
went
just
down, her
simply
little behind.
horrible.
Isn't that horrible?
Was she convicted?
Yes.
Yeah,
they got
that's
her.
horrible.
She
That
didn't
was
think
the
they were going
first
to get her,
time-
but
and
they
they're
got her.
changing laws in that state, but that they didn't really have a law to fit it exactly. But again, it was the first time that someone was convicted of manslaughter without being present when the person died.
You know what case still
Well,
gets
she was
me?
present virtually.
Is that one with the murder took place on Facebook.
Oh,
Which
and they
one?
filmed
There's a couple.
it?
Which one?
Yeah.
And the boyfriend name was Jonathan, and the girlfriend name was Onita, something like that. And she had another girlfriend out of town, and she went on her Facebook and was like popping off, y'all. You still want me because you still want me. And she got into it with his. He was having sex with both girls. He was having sex with one of the gals and another girl in another city. And so she was like, that's why your man still want me, woo, 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 just, showing off. And he got on her, and he was like, no, you better go there. You need to tell her, don't be going on Facebook with all of that. They was in Louisiana, Shreveport, and she just didn't play. Played it off like no big deal. This fool came to her crib, Shelly, with an AK-47. And he told her, okay, you want to be famous? You want to be all on Facebook talking about stuff? Take that shit back. Take that shit back that you said. And she's just hysterical, and she's just like, I'm sorry.
So you can't play with people's feelings.
You can't play with people's
Don't
feelings.
play
Her
with
brother
people.
was there. Her mama ran
shot
out.
her on-
He killed
on
her
Facebook
live. On Facebook. He goes, he did. Yeah, he did.
Wow.
And you could just hear it go, stop, Jonathan. Stop, Jonathan. He boop, boop, boop. He said, now, game over, bitch.
They did.
You
say
want to be
game over.
famous?
Now you're famous.
Game over, bitch.
So you can't play with
See,
people.
that's why I don't be talking to people, Shelly.
I don't either. I don't either, Jackie. I'm with you.
You just
I don't-
never, ever know.
You never know when somebody just lose it.
It's just, I mean, like, why? What? But you just never know when you've hurt somebody or, I
Right.
don't know, y'all.
When you play with people,
Murder
don't play. Don't play.
Martinis.
Just be honest.
That
That's all I
is
can say.
crazy. Taylor has another comment here.
Mhm.
She says, yes, sometimes killers can be pushed into a psychological break
Yes.
because of the past trauma
psychotic break.
or constant
Eileen.
trauma and learning a harmful way to cope with it. So
That's
they learn
Eileen.
a harmful way to
That was
cope
Eileen.
with it. Yeah.
That was Eileen.
Poor Eileen.
I feel bad for her.
Yeah, it's still with me.
Yeah.
And she
because,
said
like,
she was
even
never gonna let a
after-
man hurt her again, ever again.
Right,
ever again.
and that's when
like,
she
"Come on."
got with Miss Moore,
Mm-hmm.
and they had their relationship. When she finally got arrested the last time, I think that's when they just gave her the death penalty.
Yeah, they kind of,
Do you think
did
the
they
death
do?
penalty was warranted?
I
Well,
don't think it
Eileen-
was appropriate, but I think it was because of
The
the
culmination.
Way, I think it was the way that Eileen told her story. Eileen was like, she didn't put no extra on
Yeah.
it. She didn't exaggerate.
And they wanted
She
her-
had
yep.
tears, but her thing was, I don't regret the shit.
yeah.
So because she didn't regret it, I think that's why they were
They
hard,
went hard
on
on her. Yeah.
This man poured bleach on my asshole. No, I don't regret killing him. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
but on all the other 6 and 7.
But she described some of the things that they
PTSD.
did, and she's like, "No, I'm not sorry. I was justified in doing what I did," and I think that's why they killed her.
Yeah.
You know, she
And
had
to
to be,
make an example.
"Oh my God, he did this to me. I didn't mean to kill him. I was pointing over here." You know, she didn't
No.
do none of that shit. She was like, "No, he did this, and I shot him.
Right.
No, he did that, and I killed him."
But let's what about, like as Rashid said, the other 6 or 7? Would she just prostitute with them and kill them automatically, or did they
So
do
she would
something?
rob them, get their
rob
money.
them.
But sometimes they did something, sometimes they
Something
didn't.
she didn't like. Yeah, or
She
something.
just always killed them.
right
After a while.
After a while, yeah.
But see, that's my point. They knew the murder rate was going up. Why didn't you put some people out there? I
Right.
just don't want to be saying that to be that part, but why didn't you put some people out there? Manpower. You know people on the interstate killing people.
Right.
Someone.
And that kills me when they keep that shit quiet. Like, how long you
Right.
gonna keep this shit quiet?
Right. Right.
We got a killer on the loose, and you gonna tell us after 90?
Yeah, like this dude right here. What's his
The
name?
90
Mr.
people dead?
Samuel. What's his name?
Samuel Little?
Oh,
Samuel
yes.
Little. 93. He says
killed
93
93
people.
Between 1970 and 2005.
They
Why
can-
was he killing
They
people?
can confirm 60 people out of the 93 that
But
he
he
has
confessed
confessed to
to
93.
93.
And he's, African American descent.
Why was he killing them? Just for fun?
So back in 2018, he confessed to 93 murders over more than 3 decades. He had been in jail since 2014 for the murder of 3 women he strangled. He confessed to the other murders under questioning by Ranger James Holland. The story of those confessions were told by 60 Minutes in 2019. Probably be numerous people who are being convicted and sent to penitentiary on my behalf. Little told 60 Minutes when asked why he confessed in murders. I say if I can help get somebody out of jail, God might smile a little bit more on me. Little told authorities that he targeted prostitutes, drug addicts, and
Because
other women
nobody
on the
looked for
fringes.
them.
He believed the police wouldn't work too hard to find.
Fine.
That's horrible.
Isn't that horrible?
They was broke and homeless, and they walked right into my spider web. I don't think there was another person that did what I like to do. I think I'm like the only one in the world. That's not an honor. That's a curse. I think he modeled himself after the killer that was in London, the famed killer in London.
Not the Boston Terrier.
No,
Jack the Ripper.
Yep, Jack the Ripper, who literally his targets were prostitutes and just the homeless girls.
People you wouldn't know, just like the gay black men that nobody's gonna look for them.
Basically, you target those that will literally bring the less suspicious people that nobody's
gonna look for them.
It's gonna care about.
That's why that man killed them crackheads, because the family was thinking, oh, she out there,
right? Yeah, she gone.
She out there smoking her crack, and she'll be back in about a month or so. And then they never come back.
Yep.
But though, you got to be a little more upbeat. You knew.
I got to hear about the Jury Heist lady.
The who?
Oh my God, Doris Payne. There she is. There's little Doris. Doris is a cold piece. I love me some Doris Payne, Shelley. I shouldn't say that. Y'all pray for me. I'm gonna like a thief. What's wrong with me, y'all?
So Doris Payne,
very likable.
I love Doris.
She swiped millions in jewels over a 70-year span.
Shelley,
70 years.
You would love her.
Decided that she was never going to be under the thumb of a man. Took to a life of crime, traveled the world, and mastered the jewel heist.
Yes, she did.
Growing up in the 1930s in a segregated coal mining county in West Virginia, Doris Payne played a game she called Miss Lady. She donned a hat and purse and imagined herself living a life far from her own in impoverished circumstances. This ability to cast herself as someone would prove a lucrative one and take her from a child playing pretend to one of the world's most notorious jewel thieves and career criminals.
What, she didn't smash and grab. I know that. What did she do?
She just had to gift the gab.
She had
to
gift
gift
the
the
gab,
gab, and then the bitches be bringing the
while
jury
you
out
bringing
and
the
shit.
jury out,
And she whooped that one, and then she take that one, and then
that
she want to see some more, and then she keep you talking, and she engaged with you. She in your face, and she just taking that shit.
She literally had what you would call the sleight of hand.
Yeah, I mean, she was taking all
basically
kinds of shit,
while you are distracted with, say, this hand, you don't see what the other hand is doing.
No, she would steal it right there at
in
the
your
counter
face
with the salesperson there.
But
right
it's a cold
there.
piece, Shelley.
And she would walk in like
just
sophisticated, jiggy down, like that picture right there. That was when it went to the left. But she was beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. So
she would walk in there like reeking of money.
Monte Carlo, just getting money, Shelley, just getting money.
Yep. And she stole over $2 million worth of jewels, and she claimed
so sad.
to have spent every cent of her takings. She had been arrested and incarcerated more times than she can count.
I told you, Shelley. She said she gonna keep doing it.
They would let her out, and she
do
go
that
right
shit
back
again.
in.
you gotta eat. You gotta eat.
And this was her first mugshot.
Little Doris Payne.
Doris was
That was her
doing
first
it. Yeah.
Doris is a cold piece,
1965.
I guess she said you gotta do what
She
you
was
gotta
25.
do. Isn't that something?
She stole until she was really
She's
old.
still stealing. Bitch, if she out right now, she's stealing something right now. If she home, if she out.
That was crazy.
She gonna be on house arrest with an ankle bracelet on. She ain't going nowhere.
She getting it. She get
Wowzer,
money,
wowzer,
and she was
wowzer.
boosting. She taking diamonds. She taking all kind of stuff, y'all. Wow, that's a shame. So what a crime, right? Crime and punishment. Murder, which is the crime of unlawfully killing a
much
person,
murder.
especially with malice.
And literally, the start of it was mostly because of her father's abuse of her mother. That's where it started.
Where what started?
Doris.
Oh,
yeah,
for Doris?
Yeah, back when her criminal history started with the abuse of her mother, and so she stole a diamond, pawned it, got some money for it, and then she gave it to her mother so that she could move away from the father. And then it was just from there she suggested she was about 16 at the time, though she since claimed she was 23 when she first stole. And
So we're starting to see a pattern of sociological circumstances that have colored these individuals' opinions.
Yeah. It's just a lot.
Girl, you need a martini.
You need a martini to talk about murder. I don't know how Nancy Grace gets through it, guys. How does she get through her show sober?
That's why she's so angry and just yelling all the time.
Nancy be angry. I be like, damn. Remember that show, The Trilogy of Terror? Remember that movie, The Trilogy of Terror? Remember that show? Oh my God, I used to be scared as hell of that. Lloyd didn't want to watch it when he was little. Kept like, let's not look at that tonight, please.
The little dog come to life.
Girl, and kill people. I'm like, I ain't trying to look at that little dog.
So there was
about tall as his bed.
Yeah, before Chucky's ass.
Oh yeah.
Before Chucky.
His little ugly
people.
tiki dog.
Oh my God, I hated him. Trilogy of Terror. Eric hates him too.
He does.
Eric do not like Trilogy of Terror.
No.
Let's look it up. It's like Linda Blair.
We've had a good night of murder.
Did you have a good time?
I did.
That was
Did you have a
fun.
good time, Shelly?
Yeah,
C?
we got to get some more murders on the map.
What about you, Rashid? You had a good time?
Yeah.
I don't know. We had a great
Right,
time.
our upcoming show is Beers and Boosting.
Beers and Boosting, starring Doris Payne. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the Poetry of Justice show with Jackie Ray Phillips on YikesRadio.com and AccelerateRadio.net. See you next week.
Good night.
Good night.
Woo.